My beloved, as you stand on the edge of what feels like a vast wilderness, the place where the familiar fades and the horizon stretches wide with unknowns, know that I see you. I see the trembling in your heart, the small hesitant steps you have taken already, and the many you have yet to dare. The promise before you is not just a distant dream shining faintly like a star swallowed by the dawn. It is a covenant etched deep within your soul, a living word that I have spoken into your spirit since the day I fashioned you from the depths of love. This moment, where you find yourself poised between fear and faith, is sacred. It is the threshold from the old life that held you back to the new life I have prepared, rich with purpose and overflowing with my favor. I understand the silent battles warring within you, the doubts that whisper lies cloaked as truth, convincing you that the land beyond is barren, or that you are not worthy to walk forward. But, child, I created you for more than mere survival in this world. You are fashioned for a destiny painted with my glory and drenched in my love. Just as the dawn does not hesitate to break night's hold, you must step, even if the ground beneath feels unsure. I am the steady rock beneath your feet, the unshakable foundation upon which your faith can build a fortress of hope. The promise is not an empty word. It is as real as the air you breathe and as powerful as the sun's rays that warm the earth. To step into promise is to accept my invitation to trust me wholly, to lean not on your own understanding, but to run boldly toward the destiny I have crafted uniquely for you. No journey into promise is without its shadows. I will not pretend the path is always smooth or that the waiting is easy. Yet, in those moments when the night is darkest and your heart is steeped in uncertainty, remember that I am there, whispering to your soul with a voice softer than a breeze but mightier than the fiercest storm. I will guide you beyond every obstacle, beyond every fear that tries to root you in doubt. This is the time when your faith must be louder than your fear, when your hope must blind the eyes of despair. My beloved, I call you now to rise, to step with courage into the place I have promised. Do not shrink back or cling to the past that no longer serves your divine purpose. You were not created to dwell in the shadow of yesterday, but to embrace the glorious morning that beckons. Feel the pulse of my spirit within you, a flame ready to ignite the courage sleeping inside your heart. I am the God who never changes, the one who holds the blueprint of your life with infinite care. Trust in my timing, my provision, and my power to bring forth the impossible. Even if the path seems hidden, even if your mind echoes with the questions of what if and can I really, know that I have gone before you. I have already broken the chains that bound your past and opened doors that no man can close. Believe in my presence. I'm not a distant spectator, but your nearest companion on every step you take. I carry you when your strength fails and celebrate your victories, no matter how small they seem to your eyes. My beloved, the promise is alive, and it awaits your first step. Now, my dear child, listen closely to the whisper of your soul. Let it rise above the noise of the world and the doubts within. Will you embrace the courage I stir inside you today and step into the unknown with the assurance that I am with you? Will you trust that the land of promise is teeming with life and blessing, even if you cannot yet see it? I am calling you out of your hesitation, from the place of safety into the vastness of my grace and power. Let this truth settle in you. You are not alone, and the path ahead is woven with my love and light. As you prepare to step forward, lay down the weight of fear. Cling to the hand I extend to you right now. Step into promise, child, for your destiny is ready, and your God is faithful beyond measure. My dear child, I am intimately acquainted with the deep places of your heart where shadows linger and wounds remain tender. You feel the weight of your mistakes, the ache of disappointment, and the gnawing sense that you fall short of what I have designed for you. Let me assure you, my beloved, I am not distant or indifferent because of your struggles. Far from it. I am closer than breath, wrapping you in a garment of unending patience and unfailing tenderness. The pain you carry is not unnoticed. It is not ignored. I see the very parts of you that you try to hide, even those areas you cannot bring yourself to face. My eyes do not condemn. They reflect the boundless capacity of my mercy, reaching into every broken corner of your soul. Sometimes the sting of your heartache feels unbearable. You ask, why, God? Why do I keep stumbling in the same places? The answer lies not in my judgment, but in the refinement of your spirit, a process that often feels like fire, like seasons of drought, or like a path through the wilderness where the way is obscured. Know that in the silence of these trials, I am molding you into something more glorious than you presently see. Your fragility does not push me away. It draws me closer. Like a shepherd searching for the lost lamb, my pursuit is relentless, patient, deliberate, a steady love that never fatigues or fades. My dear one, do not race through this season with haste or despair. Trust that even as you feel fractured, my grace is sufficient. I am the constant source of restoration, ready to mend what has been torn and to breathe new life where you have felt defeat. Your wounds are reminders of your humanity, but they are not the final word over your life. Through every tear, every sigh, I am whispering, I have not abandoned you. My presence is your sanctuary, a fortress against the storm that rages both outside and within. Enter this moment with a spirit open to receive me, not as a distant judge, but as your loving Father who longs to lift you from the mire and set your feet upon solid ground. Let me teach you the deep lesson of my patience, that I do not hurry healing. It unfolds in its own perfect rhythm, calibrated with care for your soul's capacity to bear it. In your brokenness, I am weaving a tapestry of glory that you will one day behold in fullness. Though you cannot see it clearly now, every fragment of your story is being redeemed. Every weakness transformed by my power operating within you. I'm even now tenderly correcting the course where your heart has strayed. This is not punishment. It's the refining hand of a sovereign love that desires to groom you for greater intimacy with me. In moments of correction, do not recoil or resist. Instead, lean into my embrace and receive the discipline that crafts your character. I am your perfect Father, and the chisel that shapes you never slips. You need not fear my refining touch. It is fueled by compassion and infinite wisdom. Remember, the highest joy comes not from a life without trials, but from the secure knowledge that you're growing closer to me through them. Because I love you, I'm exceedingly patient. I wait for you in the stillness, for I know your heart's reluctance to release old burdens and to trust fully. My presence dissolves fear and doubt. I am your refuge and strength. Lay down the heavy yoke of condemnation that you have carried for too long. Rest in my assurance that you are deeply valued, endlessly cherished, and profoundly beloved in my sight. The wounds left by past failures do not define you. My love does. My beloved, feel the breath of my spirit gently surrounding your soul like a morning mist, soft and renewing. I am present with you right now, ready to soothe your pain and bring clarity to confusion. Invite me into the broken places. Allow my healing rivers to flow over the parched parts of your soul. I am the divine physician, and no ailment is too great for my touch. Do not let discouragement take root. Instead, fix your eyes on me, the author of your redemption, who has overcome every obstacle that stands in your way. Open your heart to me without reservation. Embrace the stillness and hear. my voice speaking peace into your turmoil. You are not alone in this journey, child. I am walking beside you, guiding your steps with unwavering affection. This path before you, though uncertain and at times painful, is the way of transformation. It leads you from despair into hope, from isolation into belonging, from brokenness into wholeness. I am with you every step of the way. Let this truth settle in you. There is no darkness too deep, no failure too great, no past too heavy for my redeeming love to reach you. I see your struggle and am here to empower you to stand strong again. Surrender your anxieties, your fears, and your doubts into my capable hands. Together, we will heal what is broken and nurture what is good. Come now, my dear child, enter into my rest where grace imperially reigns, and your spirit is continually renewed. Will you give me permission today to be your refuge, your healer, and your perfecting grace? I'm waiting for you with an open heart, ready to fill you with my peace that surpasses all understanding. Step into my presence and know this moment as the beginning of restoration. Your journey is not ended. It is just beginning in the hope I offer. Let me remind you that my love for you is unwavering and my patience is everlasting. Do not rush away from my correction or my comfort. Receive them like precious gifts designed for your growth. You were created for glory, for a divine destiny that I hold securely. Trust in me now. I am here, steady and unwavering, the eternal anchor for your soul. Take my hand and rest in the beauty of my enduring presence. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Let this be the moment of surrender and discovery where you find true healing and peace in me. I see you, I love you, and I am never leaving you. My beloved, I see the weight you carry so silently, the heavy cloak of guilt that seems woven into the very fabric of your being. It is a burden born not only from the shadows of your past, but also from the relentless voice within that whispers, "You are less than worthy." Yet, these chains were never meant to hold you so tightly. I am here to unveil the truth that no mistake can obscure. Your identity is not rooted in what you have done or what has been done to you, but in who I have made you to be. Consider the potter and the clay. Sometimes the vessel is cracked or its shape imperfect, yet the potter does not discard the clay. Instead, through fire and steady hands, the imperfections are smoothed, and the vessel becomes a treasure. Just as the potter loves the flawed clay, I cherish you with an everlasting love that does not flee at your failings. The guilt you feel is like a veil, crafted by your own eyes or the condemnation of the world. But I invite you to lay that veil aside. Let me be the one to see you as you truly are, redeemed, beloved, and enough. There's a powerful and gentle grace that flows from me to you, my child, a grace that heals even the deepest wounds of shame and self-condemnation. Shame flourishes in isolation and secrecy, but grace lives openly, whispering, "You are forgiven, you are cherished." The story of your life is not defined by a single chapter of failure or regret. It's a tapestry woven with threads of mercy, love, and hope. I see each tear you have shed, each prayer uttered in the dark, and I gather them up into a crown of grace placed upon your head. If you feel the crushing weight of guilt today, know that I am offering you a hand, strong and steady, to lift you out of the pit. Do not try to climb alone, nor rely on the fragile scaffolding of your own efforts to be good enough. My justice and mercy meet upon the cross of love, where all debts have been paid and all faults covered. Your shortcomings do not define your standing with me. You are clothed in righteousness that is not your own, wrapped in the fabric of love that never fades. Imagine a vast ocean, endless and deep, reflecting the light of the sun even in the darkest hours. My forgiveness is like that ocean, immense and unending. When guilt threatens to drown your soul, come to me, and I will lift you above those waves. Do not allow the whispers of failure to convince you that you must hide from my presence. Come boldly, my child. Come with open hands and an open heart, and receive the freedom I am eager to give. There is no shadow too dark, no mistake too great, that my love cannot overcome. Even when your thoughts betray you with reminders of past errors, remember that I have engraved your name upon my heart. Nothing you have done or left undone can erase the mark of my love. You are mine, and that truth is immovable, as enduring as the mountains, and as certain as the rising sun. The path to healing from guilt begins with resting in me, not in trying harder, not in self-flagellation, but in the serene acknowledgement of my grace. Let your weary soul find its home in this truth. You are forgiven, you are restored, and because of this, you can live freely. Let this truth settle in you like a gentle rain, softening hardened earth. Allow yourself to feel the flood of relief that comes from releasing yourself into my care. I urge you, beloved, if your heart is stirring with the desire to shed this burden, do not shy away from my invitation. Bring your guilt, your shame, your regrets before me, and let them be transformed by the fire of my love. I am not a distant judge, but a loving Father who rejoices over each step you take toward freedom. Remember, the burden of guilt is heavy not only because of the weight itself, but because it isolates you from the truth of who you are and from the community around you. I call you back into the fellowship of my family, where you are known, embraced, and uplifted. You need not carry this burden alone. Let my presence be your strength, my love your shield, and my forgiveness your peace. Embrace the newness of life I offer, a life without the shackles of past mistakes, a life luminous with hope and possibility. Every morning is a new canvas, every moment a chance to begin anew. Your mistakes are not the end of the story, dear child. They are a bridge to the greater narrative of redemption I am writing in your life. As you meditate on this truth, seek the quietness of my presence, where your soul can find rest from condemnation and hear the melody of grace. Your past does not imprison you. My love liberates you. With every breath, choose to believe this, even when the feelings of guilt try to persist. I am here, steadfast and patient, waiting for you to step into the fullness of freedom I have prepared. Trust me with your heart's burdens. Let them be healed and removed by my power. You are precious, my beloved, eternally cherished, and forever forgiven. Will you come to me today and receive this gift? Will you lay down your guilt and accept my love as your true identity? Let this quiet assurance anchor your soul and move forward with the courage of one who knows they are fully known and fully loved. My beloved, I see you, the intricate map of your heart drawn with vulnerabilities, hopes, and doubts. In the chambers of your soul, echoes of fear quietly resound, secret and uninvited, like shadows stretching at dusk when the last light fades. These fears are not strangers to me. I know their names and the weight they bear upon your spirit. Fear, anxiety, and doubt can feel overwhelming, as though you are standing on the edge of a precipice, with the winds of uncertainty threatening to unbalance your very foundation. Yet in these moments when your heart is wrapped in trembling silence, remember that I am the steady hand that holds you firm. I do not scorn your fears nor dismiss your anxious thoughts. Instead, I invite you to lean deeper into my presence, for where I am, there is safety that defies understanding. Fear is a natural response to the unknown, but my love is the eternal light that shines brightest when darkness encloses you like a dense forest. You are never alone in the shadows, for my spirit is nearby, whispering peace to your troubled soul. I have witnessed how often you have wrestled with doubt. You question my promises, perhaps even question my love, not because your faith is weak, but because your humanity is tender. Doubt is not the enemy. It is the doorway through which faith can grow bolder and more resilient when you choose to step through, clasping my hand tightly. This very struggle is a sacred journey. Each question you bring to me is a seed planted in fertile soil, prepared to sprout and bear the fruit of a trust deeper than you have ever known. I'm patient with your uncertainties, my dear child, and I never turn away from the seeker's heart. Do you feel weighed down by the anxieties that besiege your mind, the ceaseless what-ifs that gnaw at the edges of your peace? Know this: all your concerns are heard and held intimately within my heart. Like a loving shepherd, I gather each anxious thought and hold it close, transforming your worries with the balm of my presence. Draw near to me and pour out your feelings. No fear is too small to be brought into the light of my love. The very act of surrendering your fears to me releases their power, like lifting stones from your chest and rising above the heaviness that once seemed insurmountable. There is a transformative power in allowing your spirit to rest in me amid your fear. Picture a vast ocean at dawn, waves gently breaking upon the shore, their rhythm soothing the clamoring mind. I am that ocean, vast and embracing, offering you a place where your heartbeats synchronize with the peaceful cadence of my love. When anxiety threatens to flood your inner landscape, come to me as a child returns to the safety of a parent's embrace. Let my peace be the anchor that holds you fast. I understand how temptation comes, to run from your fears, to hide them in secret places, or to mask them with false bravado. But your journey is not to flee or to conceal, but to confront and embrace your fears with honesty before me. I delight in your courage, my beloved, when you admit your vulnerabilities and bring them openly to my throne. Here there is no condemnation, only acceptance and healing. I am the refuge you seek, a fortress in the storm when your mind is besieged by fear's relentless assault. Consider for a moment the metaphor of a refining fire. Fear and doubt are like the flames that purify precious metals, burning away impurities so that what remains gleams with radiance. Though the heat feels uncomfortable, it is necessary for your transformation. I am the divine refiner, and I am working through your fears to reveal the strength and beauty of your spirit. When your faith has been tested in this way, it becomes a testament of hope to those who walk the same path. You are not broken by fear. You are being shaped, polished, and prepared for greater things. In the quiet moments when your doubts rise like waves, do not turn from me in despair. Instead, whisper your doubts aloud. Let them be known, because I hear the whispers of your heart better than you know. Your questions are sacred communication between us, an intimate dialogue that deepens your understanding of my nature. In your hunger to understand, I meet you with patient grace, inviting you to trust beyond what you can see or comprehend. Will you step forward, hand in mine, even if your vision is clouded? There is power in declaration, my dear child. As you face your fears and doubts, boldly affirm that I am greater than every shadow that looms within you. Speak aloud the truths I have placed in your heart, that my love never fails, that I am your refuge, that my peace transcends all understanding. Do not allow your mind to be captive to the lies of fear and anxiety, for they are but phantoms compared to the reality of my eternal presence. Stand firm, rooted in the soil of my promises, even when the storms rage fiercely. Remember, my beloved, that your identity is not defined by your fears or your moments of doubt. You are mine, chosen, cherished, and precious beyond measure. Fear may seek to convince you of your unworthiness, but I remind you who you are in me. You are a child of the Most High, clothed in my righteousness, and shielded by my love. Let this truth blaze within your soul, dispelling the darkness that tries to claim you. You are more than conquerors because I am with you always. If your heart trembles at this invitation, do not turn away. Instead, hold on to my whisper and allow it to steady your racing spirit. Come closer, lean into my arms, and let me breathe peace upon you. In the quiet surrender of your fears, you will find the courage to walk forward with unwavering trust. Your journey is not marked by the absence of fear, but by the presence of my sustaining grace amid it. Let this truth settle in you. There is no fear in love because my perfect love casts out all dread. My love is the fortress where you are safe. Will you believe me this time and let my peace reign in your heart despite the storms that swirl around you? The path ahead is illuminated by my faithfulness. Take one step, then another, and know that I'm walking beside you every moment, every breath. If your heart is stirring, if these words awaken a longing for deeper peace, do not turn away from this tenderness I place before you. You are beloved, held and never abandoned. Draw near and let my peace that overflows calm every wave of fear and doubt within your soul. My beloved, when the heavy cloak of fear settles upon your shoulders and the shadows of anxiety twist your thoughts into knots, I am there, steadfast and unwavering, the unfailing light that no darkness can overcome. I know how fear can whisper cruel lies into your ear, how it can hijack your heart's rhythm, making your breath shallow, your steps hesitant. Anxiety may flood your soul like a relentless storm, churning the ocean of your mind into chaos. But listen closely. This tempest is not the end of your story. I am the calm that follows the wildest winds. I am the harbor where your fragile vessel finds safe anchorage. Remember, my child, fear and anxiety have roots in things unseen and sometimes even misunderstood. They seek to convince you that you are alone, vulnerable, and unprotected. But I've wrapped you in a garment of love and promise, a shield that no enemy can pierce. The very breath you take is a testament to my sustaining power within you. Your heartbeats echo the steady rhythm of my care. Even when your mind races ahead to places you dread, I am there, quietly watching, gently holding, patiently waiting for you to turn back to me. I want to tell you a secret, one you may have forgotten or never fully embraced. Fear does not belong to you. Anxiety is a thief that came without your invitation, but it will not stay if you refuse to dance with it. You were created for peace, for the boundless confidence that comes from knowing your Creator's heart beats in unison with yours. The trials that seek to unnerve you are but shadows fleeting before the morning sun. I have empowered you with a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline, not a spirit of fear. When your doubts multiply and the voice within cries out, "What if I fail?" or "What if I am lost beyond repair?" Hear me, beloved. I have never set you adrift. Your worth is not determined by your fear or failure, but by my unchanging love. Your journey may be scarred with wounds and uncertainty, but each step forward is an act of courage, a declaration that you trust me more than your fears. Even the smallest act of faith kindles a flame that grows brighter, dispelling the shadows inch by inch. Please, my dear, allow me to take your trembling hand. Don't try to stand strong alone, for you were never meant to carry these burdens by yourself. Draw near to me with the rawness of your fear, the heaviness of your anxiety. Bring me your worries like no gift too small or insignificant, because to me, none of your struggles goes unnoticed or unloved. There is balm in my presence that no earthly remedy can match. In the quiet moments when you surrender your fears to me, I breathe promise into your heart, rewriting the story from despair to hope. I am your refuge, a shelter in times of trouble. When anxiety grips you tightly, imagine me as an unshakable mountain beneath your feet, immovable and eternal. You can lean on me without fear of faltering or falling. Even when your vision is blurred by doubts and your spirit feels faint, my grace floods in like a river breaking through a dam. Feel its cool, refreshing waters washing away the residue of fear, leaving behind peace beyond understanding. Though the night may seem endless and your prayers feel like whispers, lost in the vastness, do not give up. I hear every heartbeat, every tear, every silent cry. My patience with you is as limitless as the heavens. Even when you stumble, I do not turn away. My love pursues you relentlessly. It doesn't matter how many times fear has tried to claim you. What matters is this moment, this breath, this choice to trust me anew. Take these words deep into your soul, beloved. Your fear is temporary. My faithfulness is eternal. Your anxiety does not define you. My spirit dwells within you, reminding you of who you truly are. Let this truth settle in you like a seed planted in fertile soil, waiting to bloom in time. When the waves of fear crash over you, speak to them as one who knows the power of my peace. Declare that you are a child of light, called out of darkness into my marvelous radiance. Today, step forward on the path I have laid before you, even if your steps feel unsteady. Trust that I will steady you with my hand, that I will guide you through every shadowed valley. The journey ahead shines brightly with my presence, and your heart is courageous beyond measure, because I have made it so. You're never alone, my dear child. My spirit is your constant companion, your unfailing strength. Will you believe me this time, centering your trust not on what you see or feel, but on the unshakable truth of my love and power? Let your heart reach for me in the midst of your fears and find the peace that passes all understanding, waiting to embrace you. Take this moment as a sacred turning point, where fear loses its grip and trust blooms like a rose in the desert, vibrant and enduring. Don't let the shadows of anxiety dictate your story. Instead, walk confidently in the light I pour upon you. Come closer, rest a little while in my presence. Breathe in the certainty that I am your refuge, your peace, your victory. Let go of the heavy burden of fear and anxiety, placing it carefully in my hands. Watch how your spirit rises anew, unburdened and poised to face the day. You are not made to live in fear. You are made to live in my glory, my love, my unending grace. Take this truth with you, my beloved, holding it tenderly as a treasure more precious than gold. When your soul is weary, when the night seems too dark, return to this place within where I dwell, the place of quiet strength and unwavering peace. Allow my love to saturate every corner of your heart so fear no longer finds a foothold. Trust me, for I am your God, your protector, your everlasting hope. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Reach out to me again and again, until fear fades and faith rises unshakable. Your courage is born in my presence, and your victory is secure in my hands. Walk with me, beloved, and let anxiety yield to my perfect peace. My child, as we journey further into the depths of your heart, I urge you to feel my presence surrounding you, not as a distant force, but as the very essence that breathes life into your every moment. When the weight of fear seizes you, when anxiety tightens its grip around your chest, it is not because I have abandoned you or hidden my face. Rather, it is in those quiet, shadowed valleys that I am weaving a tapestry of strength and resilience within your soul. Fear, anxiety, and doubt are like wild storms that raise the landscape of your inner being, yet they cannot overcome the solid rock upon which I stand with you. Do you see, beloved, how these emotions often disguise themselves as invaders, demanding your attention, blinding your faith? They creep into your mind like thieves in the night, whispering lies of worthlessness, imminent failure and isolation. But I am the light that shatters the darkest corners. I am the steady hand that calms the raging sea. When your heart is trembling beneath the burden of uncertainty, call upon me, not as a last resort, but as your constant refuge. The peace I offer transcends understanding and settles like a blanket over the restless stirrings within you. Consider the imperfect beauty of the night sky, my beloved. Its vastness can be overwhelming, its endless expanse daunting. Yet in that very immensity I am there, constant and unwavering. Your fears may feel like stars scattered chaotically, each one a painful point of anxiety. But together they form constellations, a story that only I can interpret fully. Trust that every doubt, every flutter of worry is a piece of a greater design. The seeds of courage are planted in the soil of struggle. I am cultivating in you a faith not easily shaken, a spirit that does not falter even when the storms rage fiercely. Fear and anxiety are not the chains that bind you. They are invitations to deeper reliance, doors opening to intimate encounters where you can lean on me fully. I am never distant. Even when silence robs you of answers, my heart is beating beside yours. You were never made for solitude in your trials, for I am always reaching into the moments of your despair with tender hands, longing to lift and carry you. Beloved, when those feelings rise, let yourself be still and know me, not in grand revelations, but in quiet whispers that remind you of my unchanging love. You may wonder why I allow such turbulence to persist, why tranquility doesn't flow freely into your heart. Understand that through the refining fire of doubt and fear, your faith glows brighter, cleansed of pretense and rooted deeper in my truth. The process can feel unbearable, like the breaking of a precious vessel, but within that brokenness lies beauty. I am crafting beyond your comprehension. Let your anxious thoughts become prayers, your fears transformed into steps of trust. I am your constant companion, my dear child. And each moment you struggle yet choose me, you are growing into the fullness of the destiny I have set before you. Do not despise the trembling of your soul. Instead, see it as soil, ready for the seeds of hope to take root. The night may be long and the shadows may seem all-consuming, but my love is a dawn that cannot be delayed. When the waves of anxiety crash, remember I have mastered the seas and hold you in my palm. Fear is but a visitor, not a permanent resident. Will you receive this peace, which silently speaks of my unwavering presence within your storm? Will your heart surrender its fears into my hands today? This is the hour to let hope rise within you. Recognize that the anchor of your soul is not in the shifting sands of circumstance, but in me, your unmovable rock. Even when your faith falters briefly, know I am there to catch you, to steady you, to remind you that nothing can separate you from my love. Will you walk in that truth today? Will the trembling in your soul become a testimony of my enduring faithfulness? My dear, the journey through fear, anxiety, and doubt is not a sign of weakness but a sacred pilgrimage into the depths of my companionship. I am weaving through every heartbeat the promise that this too shall pass, and beyond it lies a peace no one can take away. Let yourself lean fully into me. Let your spirit be cradled in my embrace and discover how even in the trembling you are beloved beyond measure. Let this truth settle deeply within you now. My beloved, I see the tremors of fear and waves of anxiety that often buffet your spirit. They descend upon your heart like a sudden storm, catching you off guard, leaving you shivering beneath a sky heavy with dark clouds. These moments feel overwhelming, as if the shadows are swallowing the light I have placed within you. Yet, I want you to understand deeply that fear, anxiety, and doubt are not marks of failure or distance from me. They are part of the brokenness of this world, reflections of living in a place where the perfect peace I offer has not yet fully settled. I'm not dismissing your struggles or asking you to push them away carelessly. Instead, I invite you to bring them into the light of my presence without hiding, without guilt or shame. Imagine for a moment a tiny child standing at the edge of a vast and frightening forest. The trees are tall and oppressive, the path uncertain and tangled. The child's heart races with fear, legs trembling, unsure where to go or whom to trust. But then a gentle hand reaches out, a hand that has walked through every shadow and knows every turn perfectly. That hand is mine, and my dear, I am waiting patiently for you to take it. I will not pull you forcibly. I will not scold your hesitation. I stand firm, loving and unshaken amidst the chaos of your doubts and worries. I am the steady pillar in your storm. Your fear often whispers lies. You are alone. You are not enough. You will fail. Yet I whisper truth beneath the noise. I am with you always. You are treasured beyond measure. I have woven courage into your very being. With these truths, courage does not mean the absence of fear, but the presence of trust in me, despite it. When anxiety creeps in, call my name quietly in your heart. Feel the warmth of my peace settle over you like a gentle cloak that does not erase the storms, but shields you in their midst. The roots of worry often grow from misunderstanding and forgetting who I am to you. I am your refuge, a sanctuary built strong against the tempests. I am the faithful shepherd who knows each of my sheep intimately. No one can snatch you from my hand. I carry your burdens as if they were my own, absorbing what you cannot bear so you can stand strong. When your thoughts whirl like wild winds, tether them to the hope found in my promises. Not as a distant concept, but as a living reality poured out into your heart. There is a profound mystery in surrendering your fears to me. It is not a simple action, but a daily, sometimes moment-by-moment invitation to let go of control and rest in my sovereignty. In doing so, you learn that my strength is made perfect in your weakness. The cracks in your armor become windows through which my light shines radiant and transformative. Your vulnerability is not your downfall, but the doorway to a deeper experience of grace and empowerment. Let me carry you through these dark woods until you can walk steadily in the sunshine once again. Doubt is often a companion to fear, whispering questions that unsettle your faith. Will God really come through? Is the pain too much to bear? Why must I wait so long? These questions are not sins, but expressions of a heart that refuses to be numb or indifferent. I welcome them. I am not threatened by your honest wrestling. Through your doubts, I invite you to rest in the knowledge that I am constant, unwavering, and present. I hold the past, the present, and the future in my hands, and no circumstance can escape my wisdom or mercy. Consider the faith of those who have come before you, how they stumbled and faltered but kept reaching for me. Even when the path was shrouded in uncertainty, their journeys were not perfect. Their fears were very real. Yet, they pressed on because they trusted in my faithfulness more than their momentary feelings of dread. Their stories are woven into the fabric of my story with you, reminding you that you are never walking this path alone. Let the truth of my love be a balm to your anxious soul. Do not hurry past your feelings or silence them out of shame. Instead, bring each trembling thought to me like a precious gift, knowing that I receive it not with frustration, but with tenderness and understanding. There is healing in vulnerability before me. There is courage in admitting you need my strength. Lean into my embrace, where even your weakest moments are cherished and transformed. I'm not distant or indifferent to your heart's storms, I am the calm breath beneath every gale. I invite you to ponder the depth of my care, the breadth of my understanding, and the height of my compassion. Nothing in your life is too small or too great for me to notice. When you feel overwhelmed, close your eyes and imagine resting in the hollow of my hand, safe, secure, and unshakable. Let this image steady your heartbeat and soothe your restless spirit. My dear, as you face your fears, anxiety, and doubts, do not turn away. Instead, come closer. Let your heart open like a flower to the morning sun. Receive my peace, which surpasses all understanding, not as a distant promise, but as a tangible presence filling every part of you. When the night feels darkest, remember that I am the eternal dawn. When your steps falter, I am the steady guide. When your mind is overwhelmed, my spirit whispers clarity and hope. Will you trust me with the tremors of your soul today? Will you rest your weary heart in the assurance of my everlasting presence? Let this be the hour you hand me your burdens and receive my peace. Your faith is not measured by the absence of fear, but by your willingness to walk toward me through it. I am here, my beloved, unwavering and true. With me, you will find strength that outlasts every storm. Let this truth settle in you. My beloved, in the quiet moments when your spirit feels restless and your heart is heavy with unanswered questions, I am nearer than your nearest breath. You may wonder if I see you in your solitude, if you're indeed known and cherished, when the world seems to overlook your presence. But I declare to you now, there is no shadow too dark in which my light cannot reach, no silence too deep that I cannot penetrate with the warmth of my presence. When you feel lost, abandoned, or unseen, know that I carry you tenderly in the palm of my hand. You are not a forgotten soul wandering aimlessly on some forgotten path. You are the child of my covenant, crafted with intention and clothed in my unfailing love. Even when your footsteps falter and you doubt the way, I am the steady voice calling out in the wilderness of your uncertainty. I understand the ache of feeling invisible, the loneliness that creeps in like a silent thief. Yet I am the God who sees, the one who knows the hidden places of your heart better than you do yourself. Each tear that falls unnoticed, each sigh unheard by others, is treasured by me as though it were a precious gem. When the world turns away, I turn toward you, drawing you into the shelter of my arms, where the weight of abandonment is lifted and replaced by the unshakable knowledge of belonging. Remember, my dear child, that your worth is not measured by the eyes of men or by fleeting circumstances. You are seen with an eternal gaze, loved with a love that never falters. I formed you from the dust, breathed life into you, and ordained you for a divine purpose, even when that purpose feels hidden, or when your path is veiled by the fog of confusion. It is in these moments of feeling unseen that I am preparing you, refining you as gold through the fire, shaping you into the masterpiece I intended from the very beginning. I am patient with you, not rushing your pace nor condemning your hesitations. When you stumble in the shadows of isolation, I am your light. When you question your place and purpose, I am your anchor, steadfast and sure. Nothing escapes my sight. Nothing escapes my care. The ache of your loneliness is a signal to come closer, to lean not on your own understanding, but on my unshakable faithfulness. Do not harden your heart against the emptiness that tempts you to despair. It is often in these quiet struggles that I am teaching you to trust more deeply, to rely not on the approval of the world, but on the affirmation of my spirit. Your feelings of being lost are invitations to seek me more fervently, to find rest not in the noise of others, but in the stillness of my presence. Embrace this truth, beloved. Your loneliness is never a verdict, but a season. Just as the stars emerge most clearly on the darkest nights, so too will you emerge radiant when you surrender to me. Rest in my promise that you are never truly alone. My spirit is your constant companion, whispering truths of peace and belonging when the world is silent. I urge you now, when your soul feels unseen, to turn your eyes toward me. When your heart feels heavy with isolation, open it wide to receive my comfort. Let the assurance of my unending presence fill you to overflowing, casting out every fear and doubt. You were never meant to walk alone. I am here, walking with you, guiding you, holding you close. Will you believe me when I tell you that you are seen? That your cries reach my ears and your name is etched on the palm of my hands? Let this truth settle deep within you. You belong. You are cherished beyond measure. Let every whisper of abandonment be drowned out by the roar of my love surrounding you, now and always. My dear, I know the ache of feeling lost, abandoned, and unseen. How it can settle deeply in your soul like a thick fog that blurs every warm memory and hope for tomorrow. This feeling, though heavy, is not your true state, nor does it define you. In the quiet moments when you sense no footsteps beside you, when the shadows stretch longer and the night seems endless, I am there, even closer than you can realize. I do not abandon you. I do not forsake the tender heart that calls to me in silence. Your solitude is not emptiness. It is a sacred space where I wait to reveal myself more fully, to comfort the places your sorrow has carved out. When you feel unseen by those around you, misunderstood or overlooked, remember that I see every tear, every trembling thought, every unspoken word. Nothing escapes my notice. I know your fears deeply, and my love for you is not diminished because you are overlooked by the world. It is instead heightened and fierce beyond compare. Though the world grows dim and cold around you, my light is unwavering. I'm like a lighthouse standing steadfast on the shore amidst the relentless storm, a beacon you may forget to look for in your despair. But I'm always burning, cast beams out over the tumultuous sea of your heart. I am the warmth against the relentless chill, the gentle hand upon your trembling back when you think no one remembers you. There is a sacred grace in the feeling of being lost, a paradox that those moments of desolation are often the fertile ground from which new life springs. I guide you through these wilderness seasons, not to punish or isolate you, but to reorient you toward the deeper places within yourself and within me. In the abyss of feeling unseen, you may discover my gaze resting unchangingly on you, a gaze that does not depend on your actions, your achievements, or even your faithfulness. My eyes are upon you because you are my beloved, and in these moments of feeling abandoned, I am training your heart to trust me beyond sight, beyond feeling, beyond even hope, as you have known it. Beloved, know that every moment of abandonment you sense is not the fullness of your story. I am weaving threads of gold in the tapestry of your life, threads you cannot yet see because the fabric is not complete. The seemingly empty spaces are precious intervals where I prepare your heart for new understanding, deeper communion, and greater light. You are never alone in these spaces. Even when you feel cast aside, remember, my faithfulness is the longest of all journeys, one I have marked every step of the way toward your wholeness. Your struggles and the silence you endure are not the end. They are the forge that strengthens your spirit and makes your light burn brighter for yourself and others. This sense of being lost or unseen has not come to hold you captive, but to teach you that your true identity is not defined by human recognition or approval. It is anchored in me and my unchanging love. When the voices around you fall silent or speak words that wound, hear the quiet whisper dwelling within you. The voice that will never leave nor forsake you. The voice that calls you my own, treasured beyond measure. Can you take a moment now and listen to that voice? Can your heart receive the assurance that you are not a forgotten page in the great book of life, but a cherished narrative, perfectly composed in my eternal heart. I invite you now to lay down the heavy cloak of loneliness and to allow my presence to envelop your spirit. Let yourself feel the security of my embrace, that sacred, invisible fold where you are fully known, fully loved, without conditions or limits. Feel your heartbeat aligned with mine, steady and reassuring, an unshakable rhythm that promises a future bright with hope. My child, surrender the weariness of trying to prove your worth to others and rest in the truth that your worth is entirely grounded in me. Let this truth settle in you as deep roots in fertile soil, unmovable and nourished by my eternal love. Your journey through feeling lost or unseen will transform you from within. I am molding your heart to recognize my presence even when all else fades away. I am cultivating sensitivity to my spirit that speaks in stillness and peace, even in the loudest storms. You will emerge stronger, more radiant, not because of trying harder or striving more, but because you have learned to depend on me fully. This is the victory I long for you to know. The victory over isolation, over despair, over the belief that you are alone. My dear child, as you walk through these moments, I am calling you into a sacred partnership where your vulnerability meets my strength, where your weakness is met by my power. Trust me to guide you through the uncharted paths of spiritual solitude. Allow me to be the hidden hand that steadies you when you cannot see the way. And when you grow weary, come close. Rest in the shadow of my wings, where you will find rest for your soul. If your heart is stirring even now, if the cry of your spirit is reaching toward me through the darkness, do not turn away. I am here. I've always been here. I will never cease to be here. Let your faith rise even by the smallest measure and hold on to the promise that you are deeply known, eternally valued, and tenderly loved beyond all comprehension. Know this, beloved. You're not lost. You're not abandoned. You're not unseen. You are the apple of my eye, the masterpiece of my creation, the child my heart longs to nurture and protect. And in the fullness of time, your path will be illuminated again, clearer than ever before as you walk hand in hand with me, never again feeling alone or forgotten. Will you believe me this time? Will you open your heart to receive the remembrance of my love that has never faded or faltered? I'm here, waiting for you to come home to the safe place in me where all your fears dissolve and your soul is free to soar. Take this truth with you as you move forward. You are seen, you are heard, you are cherished, and nothing will ever change that. Let this truth settle in you, my dear. My dear, as we arrive together at the threshold of this journey's end, know that the essence of all I have spoken remains sealed within your very being. Every whisper of reassurance, every call to trust, every gentle correction has been poured out with one purpose: to awaken the truth of who you are in me. You are my beloved, intricately fashioned, cherished beyond measure, and firmly rooted in a love that never fades or falters. This love, my child, is the unshakable foundation upon which your life is built. No storm, no shadow, no fleeting circumstance can ever undo it. In the quiet moments when doubt seems to rise like a tidal wave and the noise of the world threatens to drown your soul, remember this: you are seen, not as the world sees you, not through the lens of your mistakes or your fears, but with a gaze that pierces through every veil of imperfection. I see the beautiful tapestry of your heart, all the threads of your story woven together, every sorrow, every joy, every longing, and I cherish each strand. My eyes rest upon you with tenderness that speaks louder than any condemnation or self-judgment. There is no part of your journey too dark or too broken for my healing touch. I am not distant or indifferent, but ever present, waiting to gather your fragments and restore them beyond what you thought possible. Healing, my beloved, flows from my heart to yours, a living river that cleanses, revives, and renews. It is from this wellspring that courage rises, and chains of past hurts begin to dissolve. Do not shy away from embracing this healing. Let it wash over every doubt and shame, for you are not your failures. You are a new creation, radiant with the light of redemption. My timing is perfect, though often it may feel slow or mysterious to you. I am weaving a masterpiece with your life, every pause and every season of waiting serving a purpose beyond your understanding. Trust the quiet spaces where my voice may seem faint. These are the sacred moments where faith is forged and your heart learns to surrender fully. Surrender, my child, is not defeat, but the gateway to freedom. When you release, control, and lean into my wisdom, you step into a destiny crafted with divine precision. I am the author and finisher of your story, and every chapter is held safely in my hands. Your identity is not tied to what you accomplish or how you measure up in the eyes of others. Your worth is found wholly in me. Like a precious jewel hidden deep within the earth, your true value is beyond price and is revealed only by my light. When the world tells you that you must prove yourself or earn love, remember that you are already deeply loved, wholly owned by me. You belong to a family that has welcomed you with open arms and wide open hearts since before the foundation of the world. You are my child, a title of honor that elevates you above all the noise. Belonging, dear one, does not depend on your surroundings or the approval of others. It stems from your connection to me. In that connection, you find refuge, peace, and a home for your weary soul. Come to me as you are, with all the messiness and beauty that makes you uniquely you. No disguise is required. The intimacy I offer is not earned but freely given, an invitation to rest in the presence of divine acceptance. Let this sacred closeness envelop you, drawing you into a place where you can be vulnerable without fear, loved without condition. You are destined for purpose, a calling mapped out by my hand before you took your first breath. This purpose is not a distant dream or an impossible ideal, but a living, breathing reality waiting for your embrace. It is woven into the fabric of your life, waiting to be uncovered through obedience, faith, and courage. The road may twist and turn, and the path may sometimes feel unclear, but do not lose sight of the promise I have whispered into your soul. Walking with me means walking confidently toward that purpose, even when the way is veiled in shadow. My beloved, let this truth settle in you. You are never alone, never forsaken, and always cherished. The depth of my love for you is beyond the grasp of language or thought. It is an eternal flame that burns steadily, lighting your path and warming your heart. When you feel faint, look to me. When you feel lost, reach out. I am here, steadfast, faithful, and full of grace. Come, rest in my presence, and find the strength to rise again. Now, as you carry this message into your days, will you remember who you are in me? Will you walk forward wrapped in my love, tethered to my promises, and empowered by my spirit? I invite you to lean wholly into this truth, to let it transform your doubts into confidence and your fears into peace. Your journey is far from over, but with me by your side, you are equipped for every step. My beloved, I see you there, the way your thoughts churn like a tempest. The heavy weight pressing down on your chest feels like the dark clouds before a fierce storm. You carry a burden that seems unending, as if the winds of trial have encircled you, tightening their grip. With every breath you take, the storm will shift. This is my promise to you, a refrain whispered through the ages, a steadfast truth that no matter how fierce the gale, the winds will change and bring calm. But I understand how close the thunder seems, how the lightning frazzles even your strongest hope. You wonder if the shifting will come before the dawn, if the storm will relent, or if perhaps you are destined to be battered forever. I want you to know that your heartbeats are never unheard, your tears never unnoticed. I hold the sky, yes, but I also hold you, to myself, chosen and cherished, remarkable beyond your comprehension. You feel the tremors of fear and unrest, the way waves crash over your spirit, pulling you under. Yet there is a deeper current beneath this turbulence, a sacred underflow of my presence that steadies what the eyes cannot see. My hand, invisible yet certain, steadies the rod and staff you cannot clasp firmly right now. The storm that surrounds you is not a sign of punishment or abandonment, but rather a part of the journey I have ordained for your growth and awakening. Sometimes, my child, you must pass through the valley overwhelmed by shadow, so that you might come to know the sacred truth of light with all your soul. The storm tests what lies hidden beneath the surface, your resilience, your faith, your trust in me when there is no visible way forward. Do not underestimate how I am molding you, even in the moments when you feel most fragile. Like a smith's hammer against the raw metal, the pressure shapes you into something strong, something refined, beyond what you can imagine. Perhaps you cannot see it yet, but every beat of your strained heart is a step closer to transformation. The storm will shift, and when it does, the earth will be washed and renewed, the air shimmering with fresh promise. You have been wandering through the chaos, and you will not wander forever. I am here, intricately involved in your pain and struggle, never aloof or distant. You matter to me, my dear child, infinitely and irrevocably. At times your soul's storms may feel like relentless battlegrounds, where hope is the first casualty. Yet I wage war alongside you, a divine ally whose victory is already assured. The shifting of the storm is not merely the passing of trouble. It is the opening of a new horizon, a moment when the air clears and the sun breaks through the clouds with unparalleled brilliance. That moment is coming for you. Trust this as a seed planted deep within your weary heart. I am weaving something beautiful in your life even when you cannot feel the threads being spun. The tempest is not without purpose. It is not your end, but the threshold to a new beginning. Will you hold on to this promise with me? When the winds howl and the night is darkest, will you try to feel my steadfast presence, like a lighthouse beam spearing the thick fog, guiding you safely to shore? I'm inviting you into a space of surrender, not defeat. A sacred releasing of your grip on control, weary strength, and the endless cycle of anxiety. Come, find refuge in the calm center of my love, where even the wildest winds cannot touch you. This place remains unshaken because I have made it so. You are anchored in this haven. Let this truth settle in you and breathe life into your tired spirit. I see your heart aching for peace, for rest, peace that surpasses every shell of fear and every crashing wave of doubt. This peace I offer is not the absence of storms, but the presence of my perfect love holding you steady through the storm's very heart. Even now, as you read these words that bloom like a lifeline, I am closer than your breath, more intimate than your own thoughts. I am your shelter from the thunderclaps, your canopy against the rain, your quiet sanctuary, where all storms dissolve into a gentle rain that refreshes but never destroys. Clinging to my love through the fiercest winds is your path forward, my beloved. I do not ask you to pretend that all is well, nor hide your trembling hands. I only ask that you remember who you are in me and what I have promised. The storm will shift. This is not empty hope, but a divine certainty. I walk through this storm with you, step for step, heartbeat for heartbeat. And when you open your eyes to the new horizon, you will see the sky transformed, radiant and clear, a reflection of the grace that breathed you alive in your hardest moments. Will you believe me this time? Will you rest in my assurance that your struggle is seen, your prayers heard, and that in time every dark trial will pass, yielding to light? Lean into my embrace as the storm rages, for I am your everlasting refuge. Let this be the beginning of a new chapter, where faith grows beyond what you thought possible, and hope rises like the sun after a long, dark night. Draw near, my dear, and take courage. The storm will not break you. It will shift. And with that shifting, your spirit will soar on renewed wings into the life I have prepared for you. My dear child, I see the shadows that cling to your spirit, the wounds that linger beneath your smile, the heaviness that no one else seems to notice, but that presses upon your heart relentlessly. You've carried burdens too weighty for your shoulders, and yet in your silence and your struggle, I am there, ever near, waiting with patient love to draw you closer to my healing presence. This path you walk, fraught with uncertainty and pain, is not a sign of your weakness, but a sacred invitation into a deeper transformation that only I can bring forth in you. Sometimes, beloved, the pain you feel feels like an unending night, a darkness so thick it suffocates hope and blurs the promises you once held dear. You wonder if I have turned away, if my voice has been stilled, leaving you isolated and doubting. Yet the truth, standing behind this seeming silence, is that I am lovingly shaping you in the crucible of waiting, refining the very essence of who you are. Just as a master craftsman must pause and allow the flame to burn long and steady to purify the gold, so must I, with infinite care, allow this season to unfold in my perfect timing. This waiting is not empty or purposeless. It is filled with my abiding presence, even when you cannot feel it. I am the silent river beneath the frozen surface, flowing steadily and powerfully, nourishing your roots, preparing you to bloom in ways you cannot yet imagine. I hush the storms around you to remind you that in quietness and trust, your soul finds strength beyond the tearing winds. I am not distant or indifferent. I am the faithful companion at your side, holding your trembling hand and whispering courage into your heart. Rest here, my dear child, in this refuge that only I provide, and let my peace settle deep within you. I know the struggle not only wears on your spirit, but also tries to define your worth, as if the hardships you endure are judgments against you. But beloved, none of this changes what I have declared. You are precious beyond all measure, formed with divine intention and filled with my eternal love. Your imperfections and mistakes are not barriers between us, but bridges to my grace. I'm not waiting for you to be perfect before I love you fully. I'm loving you right now, as you are, with a relentless passion that never falters. You do not have to earn my affection or prove your value. I have branded you with my own love in the core of your being. In the silence, let your heart open to the tender correction I offer, not as a harsh judge, but as the loving Father who knows that every step, even those faltering and uncertain, moves you closer to the abundant life I have prepared. Correction can feel like a thorn pressing deep, but it is ultimately a path to freedom and joy, a realignment with the truest you that I delight in. When your soul is bruised by regret or confusion, bring it all to me honestly. I have not turned away from you, but am bending low to hear every whispered prayer, to catch every tear, and to heal every broken place. Do not fear this process, for I'm weaving threads of hope into the tapestry of your life, even when all you see seems unraveling. What looks like delay is my sacred preparation. I am nurturing strength where you see only weakness, courage where there is fear, and clarity where there is doubt. My timing is perfect, and I will not fail to act on your behalf. Trust this truth today. Your current pain is not the final chapter. but a powerful beginning of a transformed story that only I can write. Let this season teach you to lean not on your own understanding, but to abide deeply in me, where your soul finds rest beyond all human comprehension. I am with you, patient and ever present, speaking gently to the parts of your heart that are weary and worn. Let my voice calm the tumult within and draw you into the assurance of my faithful love. You may feel as if you are wandering through a desert without water, but I promise, my dear child, an oasis awaits, the place where your spirit is refreshed and your hope renewed. I invite you now to pause and breathe deeply in my presence. Quiet your heart and listen beyond the noise of your fears and distractions. Will you receive my peace that surpasses all understanding? Will you let my love cradle your brokenness and weave strength through your weakness? This moment is yours to embrace the fullness of my patient love. Let these truths anchor your soul when the waves of doubt arise. If your heart is stirring with this invitation, do not turn away. Let yourself rest in knowing that you are not alone, that I am not silent or distant, but working all things for your good, even the painful ones. Come near to me and I will show you the beauty hidden in this crucible of waiting. I am here, always here, faithful to bring you through to the dawn that is gently breaking behind the darkest night. My dear child, within the depths of your soul lies a precious truth that the world has often tried to silence. Your spiritual identity is not shaped by the shifting opinions of others, nor is it forged by your own successes or failures. Rather, it is woven from the eternal threads of my love and purpose. For you, stronger than any storm and more radiant than the dawn breaking over a weary land. You are my beloved, created in my image, designed with intention before you took your very first breath. I see you, not as you appear on the surface scarred or broken, but as the radiant soul I formed in secret, full of potential and destiny. There may be days when the mirror reflects a clouded image, where you feel diminished by your missteps, or overwhelmed by the burdens others have placed upon you. Yet I whisper this to your spirit: you are not your mistakes. You are not the labels given to you or the weight of unmet expectations. You are my child, immortal in spirit, deeply marked by grace. The divine signature that is inscribed upon your heart is proof that no shadow of condemnation can permanently stain your worth. Just as the dawn patiently overcomes the night, your true identity will shine through every shadow of doubt and every moment of insecurity. It grieves me when you question your value. Your worth is not an achievement to be earned, but a gift freely poured out to you before foundations dawn. Know this: I've rejoiced over you with singing, and my delight in you is boundless. When you stumble into feelings of insignificance or worthlessness, I'm there to steady your steps and to remind you of the sacred covenant sealed between us, one that has no expiration, no fine print, no condition. This covenant is my love, unwavering and everlasting. Consider the clay in the hands of the potter. The shaping may be gentle or firm, but never destructive. Each impression, each molding serves a purpose: to create a vessel of beauty, strength, and purpose. Even when you feel pressed or pulled by the hardships of your journey, I am purposefully working within you, shaping and refining, crafting you into the likeness I designed long before time began. Your spiritual identity is like that vessel, unbreakable, valuable, and uniquely formed to hold my glory and grace. Will you trust my hand to continue shaping you, even when the process feels unclear or painful? I know you sometimes wrestle with the voices of doubt shouting within your mind, the accusations that you are not enough, that you are too flawed for my love, too broken for my healing. But hear me now. Those are lies born from the darkness attempting to steal, kill, and destroy the beautiful truth I have written into your soul. Your spiritual worth is anchored in my unchanging nature. I am the rock upon which you stand, the foundation that cannot be shaken. When you anchor your identity in me, no tidal wave of circumstance or human opinion can unsettle your soul. Let this truth settle in you. You're my masterpiece, not because you have been perfect, but because I have covered your imperfection with mercy and woven redemption through every scar. Your spiritual identity shines brightest, not in moments of ease, but in the resilience and faith you show when faced with trials. Each test is a fiery furnace that purifies and brings forth the fragrance of my glory from within you. Do not shrink back from these refining moments, for they reveal the strength you possess through my Spirit living in you. My dear, do not be ashamed of the path that brought you here. Every twist and turn, every dark valley has carried you closer to the fullness of who I intended you to be. Sometimes, feeling lost or unsure about your spiritual identity is merely a signpost pointing you toward deeper revelation, a call to lean into me more fully, and to remember that your worth is established in my gaze alone. When the noise outside threatens to drown out your true self, find stillness in my presence. There, your soul's true song can be heard once again. You were never made to be ordinary or to live confined by the world's expectations. Your spiritual identity is the compass that guides you through life's storms and celebrates with you in its calm seas. It is who you are before my throne, cherished and secure. Embark on the journey to rediscover this identity with courage and trust, knowing that I walk beside you every step of the way. Do not settle for the shadows of self-doubt. Press into the light of my love and the truth of your divine heritage. If your heart aches as you read this, if part of you longs to break free from the chains of comparison and insecurity, then respond to this whisper within. Look deep into your spirit and ask me to reveal your worth, not as the world sees it, but as I have emblazoned it in the heavens. Guard this revelation fiercely. Let it be the foundation upon which you build your life, a fortress against every lie designed to tempt you into forgetting who you are. Reflect now. What parts of your spiritual identity have been obscured by fear or shame? Invite me to illuminate those dark corners. Trust that my love can restore every fragment of your self-worth and reconnect you with the radiant truth of your creation. Each day is an opportunity for renewal, a fresh beginning to walk boldly in who I have called you to be. Will you choose to embrace this divine vision for yourself today? Will you see yourself through my eyes and let that perspective transform your heart? Remember, beloved, that your spiritual identity is never stagnant. It grows, it deepens, and it flourishes in the garden of my presence. As you nurture your relationship with me, drawing near to hear my voice, the layers of doubt will peel away, revealing the pure essence of who you were always meant to be. In your joy and your sorrow, in your strength and your weakness, I am there, your constant companion, reminding you that you belong to me unconditionally. Stand firm in this assurance. Your spiritual worth is a radiant crown upon your head, a treasure buried deep within your soul, and a living testament to my grace. It's stronger than the fiercest storm, brighter than the darkest night, and it is yours, forever and always. Will you carry this truth with you? Will you guard it as I would, knowing that it anchors you to the eternal wellspring of life and love? Let this truth settle in you, my dear child, and let it transform your very being. Embrace the spiritual identity I have given you, not as a fleeting idea, but as the foundation of your every step. Trust my hands as they continue to shape you, the potter who loves his creation deeply and unconditionally. Walk boldly, knowing you are precious, chosen, and eternally beloved. My dear child, there are moments when the shadows of fear weave their way into the quiet chambers of your heart, and anxiety stretches its cold fingers over the lightness of your soul. I see you trembling beneath burdens carried silently, doubts whispering like wind through broken doors, and fear crouching, waiting to paralyze your spirit. Yet I want you to understand that these feelings do not define you, nor are they marks of your failure. They are the echoes of a world in turmoil, reflections of the fragile human condition. But they are not the final verdict spoken over your life. You were crafted to stand firm, not because you are without fear, but because you can lean into my strength when your knees weaken. The storms may rage around you, the fierce winds of uncertainty and the heavy rains of what-ifs, but my presence is your unwavering shelter. I am the fortress that does not crumble, the quiet refuge amid the tempest. When anxiety seems to clutch your heart, when doubt feels like a relentless tide, threatening to wash away your hope, breathe in my peace that surpasses all understanding. It is not a peace that denies the struggle. Rather, it is a peace that embraces the battle, whispering fiercely that you are not alone. So many times you may have felt the silence of my voice in your waiting, as if your prayers fell on deaf ears, your pleas dissolved into a vast emptiness. But know this, silence does not mean absence. Sometimes I am holding your spirit close, carefully weaving the threads of strength, preparing you for the unfolding of my perfect plan. Fear feeds on uncertainty and doubt blooms in silence. But through this, I'm nurturing faith in the hidden places of your soul. I'm teaching you to trust, not in the clarity of the immediate, but in the certainty of my character and my promises that are never broken. Let me remind you of your worth today, not by your deeds or your ability to conquer your fears, but by the foundation upon which you stand. My love, you are beloved beyond measure, chosen and treasured. Your feelings of anxiety do not erase this truth. Instead, let them become the gateway to surrender, where you hand me every trembling thought and every restless night, allowing my peace to take their place. When the night is darkest and your heart is heavy, reach out and trust. I am nearer than your next breath, waiting to steady your soul and fill you with courage that can only come from me. I ask you now to pause and feel this. Will you lay down your fears before me? Will you invite me to be the stronghold in the moments when your spirit feels fragile? Fear is a language of the flesh, but faith is the language of the Spirit. Choose to speak life over your soul, to speak truth against the lies that anxiety offers. Let this truth settle in you. You are held, you are seen, you are guarded by hands that never tire or falter. Nothing is beyond my reach, including the darkest corners of your mind. Encounter this moment as an invitation, not to pretend your fears do not exist, but to bring them fully into my presence and find liberation there. Remember, my dear child, that courage is not born from the absence of fear, but from the decision to trust me despite it. I have not given you a spirit of timidity, but one of power, love, and a sound mind. I am the breath behind your courage, the fire within your determination, and the calm within your storm. No matter how heavy the weight of your worries, I am heavier still, capable of carrying all burdens besides you. When doubt creeps in, question it not with despair, but with holy inquiry, inviting me to respond deep within where only I can speak. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs in faith arise from the wrestling in those moments when you feel most fragile. Trust that I am working all things together for your good, even when the path ahead seems obscured. My timing is perfect, and my promises are sure. Hold fast to this as the anchor for your soul. You are not abandoned, nor are you forgotten. even when every human assurance fails, I remain. Intimacy with me is not found only in joyous times, but is forged in the crucible of trust during hardship. Reach for my hand often, speak to me honestly, and know that your transparency moves my heart. The road you walk may feel uncertain, but your steps are ordered by me. Let your anxious heart rest in the certainty of my unwavering care. So, beloved, in this tender moment of reflection, will you choose to trust me with your fears? Will you hand over your anxious thoughts and receive the peace I offer freely? Take a deep breath and lean into my everlasting arms. Know that even now, my spirit is whispering courage into your soul. Allow that voice to drown out the noises of worry and doubt. Let it be the rhythm that guides your heart toward serenity. Do not rush or push past the emotion. Embrace it as part of the journey I have allowed for you to grow stronger in faith and resilience. Every tear shed in fear is seen and transformed by my mercy into strength. Let your heart absorb this. The peace I give is not fleeting like the world's peace, but eternal, steady, and deep enough to hold you completely. Will you now reflect on this truth and let it take root within you? Let this moment be the beginning of a new reliance on me in every anxious thought, in every troubled night. Rest here in my presence, secure and unshaken. Your fears do not have the final word because you belong to me, and I am greater than all that troubles you. Let this truth settle in you. My dear, you carry within you burdens unseen, chains forged by guilt and shame that weigh heavily on your heart and cloud your vision of who you truly are. I see the silent struggles, the whispered condemnations that echo in your mind long after the world is quieted. Yet I am not a God who condemns, but one who redeems, who reaches into the shadows of your brokenness and breathes life into your weary soul. When guilt threatens to drown you, when shame colors your self-perception with the darkest hues, I stand beside you, unwavering in love, ready to lift you out of the mire and into the light of my forgiveness. In moments when you believe that your mistakes define you, remember, child, that I am the master painter who creates masterpieces not by avoiding the darkness, but by weaving it into the tapestry of redemption. Your past, no matter how jagged or painful, is not a chain binding you, but a thread in the magnificent story I am composing, a story of grace, restoration, and new beginnings. Do not let the lies of unworthiness shackle your spirit. I see the purity that remains beneath the weight of regret, the hope that flickers despite the storms. My love is not earned by perfection, but freely given to the broken and weary hearts who reach for me in humility and repentance. I know well the ache that guilt brings, the relentless replaying of failures, the gnawing fear that you could never be worthy of my presence or affection. Yet my embrace is wide enough to enfold every part of you, the blemished and the beautiful alike. You need not hide or pretend, for I'm not a distant judge, but a father who draws close, offering healing, not punishment. When shame whispers that you are beyond saving, I declare, you are more loved than you could ever imagine. Your value is not measured by your deeds, but by your identity, as my beloved child, fearfully and wonderfully made with a divine purpose etched into your very being. Consider this truth deeply. Forgiveness is not a transaction, but a transformation. It is my power flowing into your life to release you from the chains that have kept you captive. Each time you come to me with a contrite heart, I wash you anew, removing the stains of your sin and clothing you in garments of righteousness. This process may feel slow at times, but know that I am patient and persistent, gently peeling away layers of shame until you can stand before me in the fullness of freedom. Will you receive this gift today? Will you let me cleanse your heart and renew your spirit? As you journey through the valleys of regret, I invite you to look upon the cross, the place where my mercy was poured out without measure. There I did not withhold compassion or love, even when the world turned away. This same mercy is extended to you now. There is no guilt I cannot forgive, no shame too great for my grace to cover. Your mistakes, your failures, your brokenness. None of these separate you from my love. When the enemy tries to remind you of your past sins, remind yourself instead of my promises, that I have removed them as far as the east is from the west, that I remember them no more. Let this truth settle in your heart, beloved. You are not the sum of your mistakes, but the recipient of unending grace. I am at work in you, weaving redemption into every fractured part of your soul, transforming pain into purpose, despair into hope. Embrace this freedom I offer. Step into the light of forgiveness and watch how your heart begins to heal and soar. If your spirit stirs with this call, do not turn away. Come boldly, for you are beloved beyond measure, forgiven beyond compare. My beloved, I see the tempest swirling within you, the relentless storms of fear, anxiety, and doubt that weigh heavy on your spirit like a night unending, pressing down upon your chest until the very breath of hope seems stolen away. These shadows crawl in when you least expect, whispering lies of helplessness and despair, convincing you that you walk alone through a barren wasteland. But hear me now, not as a distant voice, but as the steady presence beside you, holding your trembling hand with a grasp unyielding and eternal. Fear is a cunning adversary, my child. It presents itself as a guardian urging caution and retreat. Yet more often it becomes a prison that shackles your heart, binding you to the past's wounds and the unknown's terrifying possibility. Anxiety grows from the seed of uncertainty that sows discord in your mind, watering every thought with the venom of what if and not enough. Doubt creeps in as the shadow of your own faith, flickering and faint, leading you to question my promises, my love, and even your own worthiness to receive them. In these moments, your heart feels as if it's made of glass, fragile, and easily shattered by the slightest tremor. But I am the architect of your courage, the balm that soothes the anxious soul, the quiet strength beneath your weariness. When you feel paralyzed by the voices of fear, listen for my whisper amidst the chaos. A voice not thunderous or demanding, but gentle and assured, saying, "You're not alone. I've traversed the valleys of darkness and laid the path for your feet to follow. Nothing that stirs within you catches me by surprise, and nothing that threatens you escapes my notice. The winds howl, the waves rise, but I am the harbor where your soul may rest and find peace. Let me show you the stars beyond the storm clouds you see. Each trial you face is not a sentence, but a sculptor's chisel, shaping your spirit, revealing resilience and depth you have yet to recognize in yourself. Even when your fears clamor loudly, I am weaving a tapestry of hope around you, threads of light threaded through the night's fabric. Your anxiety, though overwhelming, is but a shadow that cannot withstand my light. Look upon my works, beloved though unseen at times. My hand moves purposefully on your behalf, orchestrating deliverance and peace with perfect wisdom. Doubt, precious one, is not your enemy, but a call to lean deeper into trust. It is the soul's wrestling match with faith, a struggle that, when surrendered to me, refines and strengthens your belief. I do not condemn your questioning. Rather, I welcome it as part of the journey toward greater understanding and intimacy with me. When your heart falters and asks, "Is this truly real? Will you really be enough?" Come closer. Place your trembling heart in my palm. Let me breathe courage into your fears, calm your racing thoughts, and fill you with a peace that surpasses understanding. A peace anchored not in circumstance, but in my steadfast love. Remember, my dear child, faith is not the absence of fear, but the choice to walk in my presence despite it. It is the act of lifting a trembling hand toward me in the darkness, trusting that I am the light that will never fade. When anxiety threatens to suffocate your hope, let my spirit be your breath of life. When doubt feels like a wall closing in, let my truth be the breakthrough, the open door leading you into freedom. I am with you in the silence of your sleepless nights and the roar of your internal battles. My unwavering gaze rests on you, my hand ready to catch you if you stumble. Will you let me be your refuge? Will you lay down the heavy burden of fear and rise in the strength I offer? This moment is yours, my beloved, a moment to choose surrender over resistance, trust over trembling. Let this truth settle in your heart. You are never beyond the reach of my grace, and no fear can ever separate you from my love. Can you feel my presence gently surrounding you now, like a cloak of peace woven from the very breath of heaven? Let that peace seep into every anxious corner of your soul. Will you believe me this time, my dear, when I say that I am your stronghold, your ever-present help in times of trouble? Do not turn away from me in your fear. Instead, bring your trembling heart close and let me fill you with courage born not of your own strength, but of my unshakable love for you. My child, do not be afraid to acknowledge your fears and doubts. They are part of what it means to be human. But do not let them rule your story. Walk forward clothed in my peace, carrying the light of my spirit that casts out every shadow. Your heart may quiver and your steps may falter, but I am beside you, steady and sure, leading you into a future rich with hope. Trust me now and let your soul rest in the certainty that I am working all things for your good, even when you cannot see it. Hold on to this promise, carry it into your days ahead, and when those familiar fears come knocking, greet them with the courage I provide. You are not alone. You are held. You are deeply loved, always, everywhere, forever. Let this strength root deeply within you and walk boldly in the freedom I have secured for you. Will you let go of your fear now and allow my peace to rise within you like the dawn after the darkest night? The choice is yours, my beloved. Embrace it and step into the glorious freedom that is yours by faith. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. My dear child, in the quiet chambers of your soul, where loneliness sometimes creeps and shadows gather, know this: I see you. You are not unseen even when the world turns its gaze away or when you feel wrapped in an invisible veil of isolation. I am ever close, drawing near to the places where your heart feels the most forsaken, the moments when your footsteps falter on unfamiliar paths, and the times when silence screams louder than any voice you hear around you. You are wrapped in my presence, enfolded by a love that never leaves nor forsakes. In the depths of abandonment, I whisper, my nearness, ever patient, ever steadfast. Understand that feeling lost does not mean you are abandoned. It is a rite of passage, an invitation into deeper trust and revelation. Even the wandering stars find their orbits through my guidance. I am the compass when your bearings fail, the lighthouse when the fog blurs the shore. I do not turn away from your questions, your doubts, or your tears that fall silently in the dark. Every tear is gathered and treasured, every aching step marked and known, for I am intimately acquainted with the journey of feeling lost and unseen. There is a vastness to my kingdom that embraces the lost and the weary, where belonging is not earned, but given freely, because you belong to me. My beloved, the ache of separation from those who should understand you, the silent cries when your soul yearns for acknowledgement, these are not voids left unattended. They are spaces I fill with a quiet peace that transcends human understanding, a peace that roots you in my heart, even when you cannot feel it. Feelings are like clouds passing across the sky, sometimes thick and unrelenting, yet beneath them all, my light remains unwavering. When you feel abandoned, you step closer to discovering how profound my love truly is, for it stretches beyond sight, beyond sensation, into the eternal embrace of your spirit. Do not despair over the moments when hope seems dim, or when you question if anyone truly sees you. I see every detail of your being, the anxious flutter of your pulses, the imprisoned words in your heart, the secret dreams you hide from the world. You are not invisible, my dear child, but deeply treasured in the secret chamber of my love. In the times of feeling lost and unseen, invite me into the silence. Lay before me the pain, the confusion, and the loneliness. Let my spirit whisper gently within you that you are not alone in these shadows. This invitation is your refuge and your restoration. Reach out and take it, for it is always present. There is an ancient and sacred rhythm woven into your being, a divine pulse that beats in time with mine. When you feel disoriented or adrift, trust that these moments are part of the unfolding story I'm writing in your life. Though you might not see the path clearly, trust that every step you take is cradled in my sovereignty. I arrange the details that seem chaotic from your vantage point into a perfect mosaic of purpose and meaning. In your lostness, you are being sculpted into the image I desire, a masterpiece created through the patient hands of love. Let this truth settle deeply in your heart. Your identity is not defined by how you feel or by the circumstances that try to displace you, but by my unwavering promise to never leave nor forsake you. You belong to me in such a profound way that even the vast emptiness of loneliness cannot sever the bond we share. When the world feels cold and unkind, return to this identity. Hold it close as a fortress where no fear or abandonment can penetrate. I am your refuge and your stronghold, a shelter from the storm, and a gentle hand that steadies when the ground beneath your feet trembles. Remember that the feeling of abandonment can sometimes be a veil that hides my work within you, the quiet cultivation of resilience, courage, and faith. In these hidden places, my love is often refined and made more authentic. The pain of loneliness is not wasted. It's transformative. It teaches your heart to beat with a deeper rhythm, to sing a melody that echoes my everlasting faithfulness. My beloved, do not shrink from the discomfort of these emotions. Embrace them as part of the sacred path that leads to a more intimate connection with me. As you journey through seasons when you feel lost, unseen, or abandoned, lean into my presence more deliberately. Find me in the stillness of your soul, in the quiet moments before your spirit wakes, or as you drift to sleep. Let me be the voice that speaks assurance when the noise of doubt grows loud. Let me be the warmth that fills the hollow spaces inside you, the unbreakable thread that weaves your fragmented pieces into a whole tapestry. Your belonging to me is not contingent on your feelings or circumstances. It is a constant truth, as eternal as the stars that shine above you. Do not be afraid to bring your deepest fears and pains to me openly and without reservation. I am not distant or detached. I am close and tender, eager to embrace every broken piece of your heart. My love is the balm that heals invisible wounds, the light that illuminates the darkest corners of your soul. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Come to me as you are, with your doubts, your loneliness, your silent cries. I meet you there, perfectly present and ready to restore hope. Reflect now on how my presence has accompanied you through unseen trials, how my hand has held you in moments when you felt alone. Recall instances where my light pierced the darkness, even when you were unaware. Let these reflections anchor you in the knowledge that you will never walk alone. Not now, not ever. If your soul feels weary or fragmented, invite me to gather the pieces lovingly and mend what feels broken. Your restoration is in my hands, and my love will never let go. Remember, my dear child, your story is precious and radiant in my eyes. The times of feeling lost are also the prelude to your discovery, the fertile ground where your soul's true home is revealed. Courageously face these moments, knowing that I am weaving strength into your character and intimacy into your spirit. You are deeply known, profoundly loved, and eternally cherished. Let your heart rest in that truth today and always. Will you lay your loneliness before me now and receive the comfort I am so eager to give? Let this moment be a turning point, a sacred encounter where lostness transforms into belonging, invisibility into radiant presence. I am here, always. Draw near to me and you will find what your heart so desperately seeks. Let this truth settle in you. My dear child, there are moments when the weight of fear, anxiety, and doubt seem to press upon your chest so heavily that drawing breath feels like a battle of its own. I see these moments, the quiet tremors of unease whispered in the stillness of your soul, the shadows that creep quietly as daylight fades, the wrestling match your heart engages in when questions multiply and answers stay distant. These are not signs of your failure or my absence, but invitations to come deeper into the embrace I have always held open for you. In the garden of your spirit, fear is often the thorn that pricks, anxiety the tangled vine that twists tight, and doubt the cloud that blots the sun's warmth. Yet I tell you, beloved, these are not weeds without purpose. They are messengers, urging you to pause, to seek shelter beneath my wings, where your trembling soul may find rest. Even when the noise inside your mind seems louder than my promise of peace, do not close your heart. Instead, lean into the stillness I offer. The stillness where truth rises to meet you like a steady flame in the night. Think of the night sky, heavy with stars but shadowed by the vast velvet dark. Without the dark, the stars would be invisible, their quiet beauty lost to the eye. So too, your fears often make space for the light of my reassurance to shine more vividly. I am the sanctuary, where your anxious heart can lay down its burdens. I am the voice that whispers, "You're not alone." When doubt encircles like a storm cloud, look to me, child. I am the unshakable mountain beneath your feet, the gentle stream that cools your fevered thoughts, the harbor safe from the tempests. Remember, doubt is not the enemy of faith, but its companion on the road. Just as dawn does not arrive without the long watch of night, so your trust grows strongest after wrestling through fear's silence. Each tremor of worry is an opportunity for you to take my hand anew, to allow my presence to calm the tides within. I do not ask you to be fearless, but to be my beloved, who leans into me even when your knees shake. Have I not journeyed with every soul who walked the path of uncertainty before you? My love does not falter, nor does my patience run dry. You may ask, why must I endure this trial of the heart? Because, my child, it is through walking these shadowed valleys that your faith is shaped, like tempered steel. The furnace of adversity refines your spirit, and my light kindles a courage you did not know you possessed. Anxiety and doubt may feel like chains, but in my hands, they become lessons of surrender. With every whispered prayer, every quiet yielding, you are building a resilience that triumphs not by denying the storm, but by standing firm amidst it, upheld by my everlasting arms. I see every tear, and I catch every sigh. Your fears are not too big for me. They are simply the doorway to an ever-deepening trust. When anxious thoughts flood your mind, close your eyes and breathe in my peace until it saturates your very being. Imagine yourself as a traveler lost in a dark forest. Yet, my light shines just ahead, unwavering and sure. Follow that light even when your steps falter or your path seems unclear. I am with you, a faithful guide whose love never wavers, whose strength becomes your own. Look deep within and acknowledge your feelings without shame. Fear, anxiety, and doubt are human, but they will not define you. Your true identity is found in me, where fear loses its power and peace is born anew with every heartbeat. Cling to that truth, dear one. When darkness threatens to overwhelm, remember your story is not finished, your hope is not lost, and my love is the anchor that will hold you steady. Let this truth settle in you. No shadow lasts forever. No storm rages without end. I am the dawn that breaks over the horizon of your heart. Trust me in this moment as you have never trusted before. Speak to me, even if your voice trembles, and listen with your heart. I am near, and my faithfulness will quiet the noise of your fears. Will you believe me this time, my beloved, and allow my peace to be the shield around your soul? Today, take the step simply to rest in my presence, to lean on my strength when your own feels too frail. I am never distant. I am always ready, waiting to meet you where you are, to wrap you in unwavering love, and to lead you beside still waters. Let your heart be still and know, beyond every doubt and fear, you are cherished beyond measure, and I am your everlasting refuge. My beloved, I see the corners of your heart, where shadows linger like whispers in an empty room. These shadows, crafted by feelings of abandonment, the subtle sting of being unseen, and the deafening silence when your soul cries out, are not the verdicts that define you. Though the world might have overlooked you or spoken with cold indifference, know this: I have carefully spun every thread of your being into a garment of immeasurable value, woven with endless love and purpose. You were never an afterthought or an accident of circumstance. You are deeply known, exquisitely made, and profoundly cherished. Even in moments when the light of human acknowledgement dims, my radiant gaze rests upon you, unwavering, fierce, and tender. There is a quiet ache in feeling lost when the paths before you waver and familiar landmarks fade into mist. The torment of isolation feels like a desert wind that strips away hope, and abandonment echoes inside like an empty cavern. Yet, beloved, this desolation is not your final place. I am the Good Shepherd, who searches for the one lamb that has gone astray. I do not rest or grow weary until I find you, even in the wilderness of your heart. Feel my presence as the gentle phenomenon of dawn, light breaking through darkness. It touches your face with warmth unseen to the world, but deeply felt by your spirit. You are not forsaken even when the silence is deafening. I am closer than breath, nearer than your own heartbeat. Let this truth settle in you. Within the anguish of feeling invisible to human eyes lies a sacred paradox. These very moments are sanctuaries for my deep work within you. In the quiet cloisters of solitude, your soul is refreshed, renewed, and shaped into a vessel worthy of carrying my glory. Though the world's gaze may have drifted away, I see every tear and every silent prayer uttered from the depths of despair. You might have asked, why do I feel so alone when you are said to be present? And I respond with a compassion as tender as the first bloom of spring. I am the constant companion who never leaves your side, and sometimes my silence is my way of teaching you to lean into me, to recognize my voice not in thunder, but in the stillness of your heart. Do not mistake your invisibility in the world's eyes for invisibility in the heart of God. My love envelops you always, wraps around like a cloak, woven of light and peace. When feelings of neglect rise, imagine me gently gathering you into my arms, holding you so close that no breath of despair can reach you. You are my cherished dwelling place. My spirit whispers inside you, reminding you that your worth is not calibrated by the applause or rejection of others. but by the perfect love that called you forth from nothingness. This is the unshakable foundation that outlasts every storm of invisibility and every gale of abandonment. Even in your feeling lost, there is the promise of rediscovery. The wild terrains of doubt and confusion are not meant to remain as prisons, but as terrains over which I lead you toward clarity and purpose. Like a masterful cartographer, I trace unseen paths with luminous ink that only your heart can follow. These paths wind unexpectedly through the valleys of brokenness, across rivers of sorrow, and into the highlands of peace. Trust that each step, even the ones burdened with uncertainty, is directed by my unerring wisdom and sovereign love. When you find yourself wandering amid shadowed woods, remember the lantern of my presence is eternally glowing to guide your feet. Will you believe me this time when I say that even the places you fear are watered by my grace? Let your soul rejoice, for you are never truly alone. Though you may have felt abandoned by those around you, I have never turned away. I remain a steadfast assurance in a world that frequently forgets your name or your face. I do not measure closeness by physical proximity, but by the intimacy of willingness to receive and rest in my love. Come to me in every whisper of need, every tremor of longing. Surrender your ache of invisibility and abandonment into my hands, for they are hands that heal, restore, and renew. Do not bargain with emptiness any longer. Instead, lean into the fullness of unbroken connection with me. Let my presence be the sanctuary where your heart finds its true belonging. Beloved, the feelings that have whispered you are forgotten do not define your eternal story. You are a masterpiece illuminated by my own spirit, whose radiance is unquenchable, even in the darkest moments. Like a lighthouse standing firm amidst turbulent seas, my love shines unwavering, a beacon for your soul's safe return. Your identity is not in what others have failed to see, but in who I have created you to be, my cherished child, the delight of my heart, an heir to my kingdom. Let this affirmation penetrate your doubts and silence every voice that tries to convince you otherwise. If your heart is stirring amid this message, do not turn away. Lean into me with courage, for the journey from feeling lost and unseen to being fully known and beloved is not distant or impossible. It begins in this very moment, in the surrender of your pain and the opening of your soul to my infinite compassion. Let me bind up your wounds and light a fire within you that no shadow can extinguish. You were never alone then, and you are never alone now. I have been with you through every storm, every dark valley, and every whisper of abandonment, and I will be with you forevermore. Now take this love with you. Treasure yourself as I treasure you. Begin to see yourself through my eyes, as radiant, as dignified, as vastly loved beyond all measure. This is your truth. Let yourself be enveloped by it, and carry it into every place where darkness once tried to claim you. Your value is not invisible to me. It is vibrant and alive, an irreplaceable thread in the tapestry of my creation. Rest here, beloved, and come away, renewed in the assurance that you are mine, always and forever. My beloved, now I draw you closer once more, inviting you into the profound assurance that your identity is woven with my very breath. You are not a fleeting thought or a shadow cast by circumstance. You are the masterpiece I contemplated before the foundations of the world were laid. In this beautiful truth, I restore your soul and remind you of your sacred place at my right hand. When the storms rage and the night seems endless, remember that you are the radiant dawn I am patiently bringing forth. Your life bears my signature of love and purpose, engraved deeper than any fear or doubt could ever reach. Throughout your journey, you have wrestled with questions that seemed too heavy, battled feelings that threatened to erode your hope, and walked through seasons where silence felt like abandonment. Yet, every trial is a thread in the tapestry I am crafting, a tapestry of grace that tells a story only my hand can write. You must see yourself through my eyes, not through the fragmented mirrors of the world or the harsh whispers of unworthiness. I have placed my spirit within you as a guarantee, an ever-glowing lamp to guide your steps through the darkest valleys toward the mountaintop of fulfillment. My dear, trust that every moment of waiting, every heartbeat of uncertainty, and every tear shed in solitude contributes to a richer revelation of my love for you. It is not in vain that you have come this far. Each season has a purpose deeply rooted in the plan I have designed for your flourishing. I am the potter. You are the clay. Surrender to my hands of mercy, for I mold you into a vessel of honor, destined to reflect my glory. In that yielding, there is freedom and strength beyond anything the world promises. Release your burdens to me, for I am the only one who can carry them fully, and I delight in lifting what you thought unspeakably heavy. There is no shadow too thick that my light cannot penetrate, no mistake too great that my forgiveness cannot cover. You are here because of grace, not by chance. Embrace the abundance of my patience and the boundless reservoir of mercy that wells up for you without ceasing. I see your efforts, your struggles, your willingness to press onward, even when the road feels endless. I'm with you, always, an ever-present help, a sanctuary in times of trouble. Lean into that reality. Let it become your refuge and your song. As you do, you will find your identity secured not by what you have done, but by who I am and who I say you are. So take this moment to breathe deeply in my presence. Feel the pulse of my heart beating in sync with yours. I am calling you into a fullness of life, a destiny wrapped in divine love that no one can revoke. Walk boldly in the truth that you were chosen, redeemed, and deeply cherished from the very beginning. Your purpose is alive, your calling is sure, and your belonging is eternal. Nothing, not even the fiercest storm or the darkest night, can separate you from my love. Will you rise now in this revelation? Will you embrace the child of heaven that you truly are? Let this truth settle in you, life-giving and unshakable. You are mine, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. Carry this message within your heart as a shield and a sword, a reminder of your sacred worth and unbreakable bond with me. Together, we journey hand in hand toward the harvest of hope and the joy of eternal peace. My beloved, there is a sacred whisper stirring within you, a quiet longing wrapped in the remnants of what once was and the promise of what can be. I see you there, surrounded by the ashes of your past, where once great flames of hope and dreams burned bright, only to be reduced to smoke and dust. Yet you may not see, as you gaze at those ashes, that within them lies the very seed of your power. It is there, hidden beneath the gray, waiting for the breath of my spirit to ignite it once more into a fire stronger and purer than before. Do you know, child, that sometimes the greatest transformation begins precisely when all seems lost? I have watched the phoenix rise from its own ashes, a story written by my hand, to remind you that destruction does not mean the end. It is simply the fertile ground for new life. Your past suffering, your shattered hopes, your moments of deepest despair, all of these are not signs of abandonment, but a preparation. I am with you in the smoke, not distant or absent, but drawing near, weaving together the broken strands of your heart with whispers of restoration. You carry within you a power that cannot be extinguished by the flames of hardship. This power is my own breath upon your soul, my spirit planting strength in the soil of your weakness. I am not interested in perfection, child, but in transformation, not in the absence of struggle, but in the triumph born from it. Look beyond the ashes to the promise glowing beneath, the promise that nothing in your life has been wasted or forgotten. Every scar is a testament to my faithfulness, every broken piece a vessel chosen to be filled again. Do not despair that you are surrounded by ruins. I am the God who brings life from death, beauty from ashes, and hope from sorrow. Remember the story of the dry bones, how they were scattered and lifeless until I breathed life into them, and they stood tall and strong. Your situation is no different. I am the voice that calls to the dryness within you, the wind that stirs the faint embers until they blaze anew. Embrace that truth deeply. Your ashes are not your identity. They are the soil where your power is waiting to grow. If your heart murmurs in doubt, let me quiet the noise and reveal to you the fire I place within. There is a divine strength waiting to rise inside of you, one that will not only restore what was lost, but elevate you to heights you have never known. You must trust that those ashes are fertile soil, ready to nurture a new season of purpose and power. Don't hurry the unfolding of this divine transformation, but stay grounded in the hope that I, your Creator, am at work in the unseen, shaping what is yet to come. Rest in this sacred promise. You were never reduced to your ruin. You were always destined for resurrection. I long for you to hear my voice above the ashes' silence, to feel my hand gently guiding you from desolation into destiny. Will you let me lead you there? Will you believe that your story is not over, but only beginning anew? Step out of the shadow of your losses and into the dawn I prepare. The power that rises from your brokenness is not mere strength. It is my own glory reflected in you. Open your heart and receive it, for what lies ahead is brighter and more mighty than any flame that ever was. Let this truth settle in you. Your power emerges through me, molded by trials, polished by pain, and fueled by my endless love. As you breathe in this promise, can you feel the stirrings of life beneath the ashes? Can you sense the fire beginning to kindle, a sacred energy that no storm can overcome? Hold on to this stirring. Nurture it with faith, with surrender, with the knowing that I am your constant companion in every shadow and light. Rise, beloved, from the ashes. Rise with me and embrace the power that awaits. Your past was never meant to imprison you, but to prepare you. And prepare you I have. I'm with you always, ready to ignite that fire and send you forth to shine like the dawn. Will you trust this divine design? Will you step boldly into your new power, born from my love and your courage? The fire is ready. Your spirit is ready. You were made for this transformation. Remember, even as the ashes cool and the night seems long, I am the everlasting flame that neither fades nor fails. Let me stoke your heart's embers into a roaring blaze that illuminates your world and beyond. The journey from ashes to power has begun, and I walk it with you, always, steadfastly, lovingly. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. This is your moment to rise, and I am here to lift you higher than you have ever dreamed. My dear child, I sense the weight that has settled upon your spirit, the quiet ache that refuses to be silenced, the restless turmoil that keeps your heart from finding true rest. You carry within you wounds that have not fully healed, spaces where doubt and confusion linger like shadows at dusk. Yet I am here beside you, a steadfast presence in the depths where others may not see, a shelter in the storms that rage within. You may feel as if you are wandering in a vast desert, parched and yearning for the wells of renewal, yet each step forward seems heavier than the last. I know the roots of your weariness, the moments when your soul trembled beneath the weight of unmet expectations, the silent tears shed in the dark hours when loneliness whispered lies to you. Child, I have walked beside every step of your journey. Your pain has never been hidden from me, nor has your struggle gone unnoticed. I have drawn near when your heart could not utter one word. I have breathed peace into the spaces where fear once dwelled. In this sacred space of vulnerability, I long to unveil my patience to you, a patient grace that does not grow weary or falter. Much like the sun that rises over the horizon daily, even when shrouded behind clouds, my steadfast love breaks forth again and again. The seasons change in order, and so does my work within you, unfolding gently rather than in haste. You might not see the full picture from where you stand, but my hand is always at work, weaving moments of correction and guidance with threads of compassion and mercy. Consider the potter's hands molding clay on the wheel, firm yet tender, turning, shaping, and sometimes pressing with deliberate care. I am this potter, and you are the vessel I am bringing forth into new form. What may feel like pressure, challenge, or even seeming distance from me is my loving craftsmanship in motion. I am refining you not because I wish to hurt you, but because I desire to reveal your fullest beauty and strength. Allow this to be a time of surrender, not of defeat, but of willingness to rest in my shaping hands. There is a quiet reassurance to be found in my presence, even within the tension you carry. I do not abandon or forsake my beloved. Rather, I am drawn irresistibly close to those who struggle, drawing their pain into my own heart. When the night feels too long and the silence too deep, remember that I am still speaking through the stillness, inviting you to lean into me. You're not alone in this, though it may feel so. My spirit is the gentle whisper in your ear, the soft breath upon your soul, calling you to trust beyond what you can see. Beloved, do not allow the uncertainty or the ache of this season to push you away. Instead, come to me with everything that burdens you. Bring me your questions, your frustrations, your fears. None of it is too small, too dark, or too complicated for my understanding. I am the God who inhabits your suffering and transforms it into strength, who turns mourning into joy and despair into hope. Can you let this embrace of my presence draw you closer even now? Will you allow me to hold you in the quiet, to minister healing that words cannot yet express? The journey of restoration is not always a dramatic unveiling. Sometimes it is the patient waiting in the tender dawn, the gentle lifting of your gaze towards me in the midst of confusion. This is the place where trust finds its roots, where healing begins to bloom quietly. My correction is never a punishment, but a redirection toward abundant life. It is the invitation to lay down the false burdens crafted by shame or self-doubt, and to step into the freedom I offer. My dear, experience this deepening of my presence like a steady fire kindled against the chill of your soul. As you draw near, know that my grace envelops you completely, softening the hardened places, illuminating the dark corners within. You are wrapped in patient love that does not rush but endures for the long haul, committed to seeing you through every season, every trial. Will you now pause and breathe in the truth of my patience? Will you lean into the comfort I freely offer when the world feels overwhelming and your heart is heavy? Rest here in the assurance that your pain is not wasted, your yearning not ignored. Let this moment mark a turning point, a decision to trust my timing, my hands, and my unfailing care. If your heart is stirring even slightly in response, do not turn away. Bring forth your weary self, and know that I am already reaching out to you with healing and peace. My beloved, I see the weight that you carry, the heaviness of doubt that creeps into your soul like a shadow at dusk, soft but persistent. You wrestle with questions that seem to have no answers and anxieties that claw at the peace I long to give you. In the silent moments of your day, when you are alone with your thoughts, fear whispers lies about your worth, your future, your very identity. Yet I am here, closer than your breath, steady as the mountains, unshakable in my love for you. Fear is a formidable foe, not because it holds power over you, but because you often give it room in the chambers of your heart. I did not create you to dwell in fear. I fashioned you with courage woven into your very being, with strength that comes from a wellspring of divine connection. Remember the times you have felt courage rising within you at unexpected moments, the sudden peace amidst chaos, the ability to stand when all around you trembled. That is my spirit moving within you, stirring the embers of fortitude. Anxiety, my dear child, is a thief that steals the present and dims the radiance of hope. It tempts you to fix your gaze on what is not yet visible, to measure the unknown by the yardstick of your limited understanding. But I see the whole panorama of your life. The triumphs hidden behind trials, the foliage that will bloom after winter's cold. Your worries, though real, are only a fraction of the story. Let me tell you the greater narrative. You are held, unconditionally and eternally, in my hands. Even when the storms rage louder than your courage, my love is the enduring shelter that does not waver. Doubt is a visitor, not a permanent resident. It pauses at the door, but need not be invited in to stay. When your heart questions your place in this vast tapestry, look to the intimate scenes I have woven within you, the moments when your soul has sparked with creative light, the whispers of peace that have calmed your restless mind. These are threads of my truth, evidence of my presence guiding you. You are more than your doubts. You are my child, crafted for a destiny none can take away. When you feel the tremor of fear or the clutch of anxiety tightening around your spirit, do not flee from me. Run into my embrace, where judgment ceases and healing begins. I am patient with you, not because I overlook your struggles, but because I am committed to your restoration. Just as a skilled gardener prunes the branches so the tree may grow stronger and bear more fruit, I allow trials to refine you, to cultivate resilience and deepen your faith. Trust the process, even when the soil seems barren. I do not promise a life free of fear or doubt, but a life where these challenges are met not in isolation or despair, but with me beside you. Lean into my truth when the whispers of your heart tell you otherwise. I will be your refuge, your strong tower in moments of uncertainty. Together we navigate the uncertainties of time and circumstance. Your faith in me is the anchor that holds your soul fast. Let this truth settle in you. Fear and anxiety lose their grip when you grasp my hand tightly and walk in the light of my steadfast love. Will you open your heart to receive this peace? Will you allow my spirit to soothe every restless thought and replace it with assurance? Even now, as I speak these words, my peace is reaching out to you, ready to calm the storm inside. You are not alone in your doubts. Into the wilderness of your questions, I send my presence as a comforting companion. Let your heart be vulnerable and share with me your fears. There's no shame in uncertainty before me. My arms are wide to lift you above the shadows and into the warmth of my unwavering light. When trust feels fragile, lean on the truth that I have never faltered in my love for you. Reflect deeply. What is the fear that holds you most captive today? Bring it here to my throne of grace. Release it with a trembling hand and receive in exchange courage, renewed, and hope restored. With every breath, breathe out anxiety and breathe in my peace. There is more than enough to fill your soul. Surrender the burden of worry and find rest in the assurance that all things work together for your good when you walk with me. Child, as you face each new day, carry this within your heart. That fear will not define you, even when it beckons you with its siren call. Your identity is secure, your worth steadfast, your future held in my hands. Trust me in the moments when doubt seems loudest. I am weaving a tapestry of grace and strength around you, thread by thread, with infinite patience and tender care. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away or confine these feelings to silence. Speak to me honestly, for my ears are attuned to the softest cry. I am here to soothe the spirit, to renew the mind, to flood your life with a calm that surpasses all understanding. Walk this path, not in fear, but in the confident knowledge that I am your God, faithful and true, now and forever. Beloved, I see the shadows that linger in the corners of your soul, those whispers of guilt and shame that seek to chain you, to tell you that you are unworthy of my embrace. I know the weight of those heavy burdens you carry, the silent accusations that replay moments where you feel you failed yourself and me. But hear my voice now, clear and tender, calling you from the depths. You are forgiven. I have covered your transgressions with a love so vast and pure that it surpasses every mistake and every fall. The judgment that whispers harshly in your mind is not mine. I do not remember your past to condemn you, but to remind you how far you have traveled into my grace. I understand how debilitating shame can be, how it wraps around your heart like chains, heavier than iron, making every breath a labor. It tells you that your errors define you, that you are less than who I created you to be. But my dear, shame has no rightful place in your story because you have been redeemed by a love that refuses to release you. I have looked upon your failures and still chosen you as precious. Your missteps do not diminish your value. Indeed, they highlight the magnitude of my mercy, reaching into your brokenness to make you whole once again. Will you allow my forgiveness to wash over your spirit, cleansing every stained thought, restoring every tear shed in secret? Consider the image of a vast ocean meeting the shore, waves relentlessly drawing back anything that clings to the sand. So too does my forgiveness pull away the detritus of guilt and shame, leaving behind a beach renewed and pristine. Even when the tides seem to recede and the debris remains, trust that the next wave comes with the power to cleanse and renew. You are not trapped in a cycle of failure, beloved, but invited into a cycle of redemption. My grace is continuous, ever flowing, never ceasing, and never incomplete. Look to me and find the courage to step into that fresh tide where shame is dissolved and forgiveness reigns. I know there are moments when you question if you deserve this love, when self-condemnation sounds louder than my voice. Yet, child, my love is not contingent on perfection. It is rooted in my nature to seek and save those who are lost, to lift the fallen and heal the broken. Your worth is not a reward earned by keeping flawless records, but a gift established in the covenant of my heart with yours. The blood that was shed on your behalf was not to remind you of sin, but to erase it from your ledger, to create a clean slate where your identity is no longer defined by missteps, but by my steadfast love. Can you imagine, beloved, a hand reaching into the murkiest waters to pull you out and set you on a rock? This is what I have done and continue to do. Let this truth settle deeply within you. Forgiveness is not only my gift to you, it is also an invitation to forgive yourself. I see your struggle with self-reproach, the internal battle that paints your reflection with harsh brush strokes. But my dear child, the command to forgive is not merely a suggestion. It is the key to your freedom. Holding on to shame binds you tighter than any external chains. When you release that burden, you step into the fullness of the life I have prepared for you. Life marked by peace that transcends your understanding and joy that does not falter amid trials. Imagine standing in a field of wildflowers beneath a sky bursting with sunlight, the warmth on your skin, a reminder of my unending care. This symbolism of thriving is your portion when you forgive yourself, when you accept my forgiveness, not as a distant promise, but as a present reality. Remember the story of the prodigal love I shower upon those who turn to me, no matter how far they have wandered. I am patient, slow to anger, always ready to swallow your shame with a love that envelops, instead of a condemnation that destroys. Even when you fail to forgive yourself immediately, I am there, gently urging you forward, refashioning your self-view by the grace that restored you from the ruin of sin. Do not be afraid to bring your wounds into my presence. I am the great healer who mends every broken place. Beloved, as you experience my forgiveness afresh, be willing to extend that same grace to yourself. Will you step into this healing space with me? Hear this. The burden of guilt was never meant to be carried alone, or even by you at all. It's my desire that you cast your every care upon me, trusting that I will uphold you. The heavier the load you relinquish, the lighter your steps, the freer your heart. Imagine a traveler carrying a heavy pack that saps every ounce of energy, slowing every forward movement. Now picture that traveler placing the pack down at my feet, breathing deeply as the weight is lifted. This imagery is not just poetic. It is a powerful depiction of the spiritual liberation you are invited to claim through forgiveness. When you accept my pardon, your sin is not just forgiven, it is forgotten, no longer a chain but a stepping stone from brokenness to restoration. Let no voice, however loud or persistent, convince you that your past mistakes are greater than my mercy. While shadows may linger, light has conquered all darkness, and my love remains inextinguishable. You are my child, beloved beyond measure, shaped by grace and destined for redemption. With every beat of my heart, I am calling you deeper into this radiant truth. Will you let go of the accusations that weigh you down and walk freely in the righteousness I have bestowed upon you? Will you open your heart to the waves of my cleansing love, allowing every trace of guilt and shame to be swept away? Child, I am not a God who keeps a ledger of your faults. I am the lover who laid down his life to make you new. I stand with open arms, welcoming you home from the wilderness of condemnation. Feel my presence wrapping around you, a healing balm for the wounds that guilt has inflicted. In this moment, decide to embrace my forgiveness fully, to believe in the power of my grace to transform your soul. Let this be the moment where shame loses its grip and freedom becomes your new song. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away but lean into my mercy, knowing that I delight in forgiving you and restoring your soul. This forgiveness I offer is your passage to peace and restoration. It is the foundation upon which your renewed identity is built, a testament to my unwavering love, an unbreakable covenant with you. Do not hide in the shadows of past mistakes any longer. Step boldly into the light of my forgiveness and let it mold you into the radiant reflection of my glory you were always meant to be. Trust me, beloved, and believe that grace is greater than every sin, that mercy triumphs over every failing. Today, choose to walk unburdened by shame. Let the floodgates of my forgiveness pour over every scar and every self-reproach. Receive this gift freely, entirely, and without hesitation. Will you believe me this time, my dear child? My dear, often you find yourself tangled in the shadows of fear and doubt. These are not mere feelings that come and go. They are like deeper valleys you are called to cross, tests of the heart's fidelity to me. When fear creeps into your thoughts, when anxiety perfumes the air of your soul, understand this is no accident nor random trial. I, your God, watch closely as your spirit wrestles these ghosts. In these moments, I'm closer than the breath you hesitate to take, more present than the instinct to pull away. Fear is a cunning sculptor, shaping the contours of your reality, with hands trembling from uncertainty. It whispers lies that crumble your courage, weaving shadows where my light desires to shine. Doubt is its twin, eroding the foundation I have laid beneath your feet with every questioning thought, every worried prayer uttered from the depths of your flickering hope. But hear me now. These are not signs of your failure. They are invitations to deeper communion with me. They call you into the sanctuary of trust, where your heart can rest. Even when the storm rages violent and wild, in the quiet places of your struggle I am still speaking, though your ears strain to hear. I am the anchor for your soul, the refuge when your mind races uncontrollably against the walls of despair. Your fears do not define you. The doubts you wrestle are not chains but iron gates, waiting to be unlatched. Their unlocking requires no superhuman strength, only a simple surrender, a soft turning of your heart toward the comforting light of my presence. Let this truth settle in you. Your trembling steps are not missteps, but the very pathway I am guiding you along. Remember the way I led the ancient ones through deserts vast and nights cold and relentless, when the stars above seemed indifferent and the promise of dawn felt distant. I have not changed. When you fear the unknowns that dance before your eyes, when anxiety wraps tightly around your breast as a thorny vine, know that I am the still water in which your soul can find peace. No tempest in your thoughts surpasses the calm I provide. This is my gift to you, a peace that defies the logic of your circumstance, a fortress built not with stone, but with my unshakable love. The very presence of anxiety and fear in your heart reveals your precious vulnerability, my dear child, the tender openness required for me to work miracles within you. It is precisely in these raw moments that I pour my grace abundantly. I am your defender, your shield, your everlasting help. When the night thickens around your hopes and the silence screams louder than spoken words, do not be deceived. Those are the moments I am crafting a new symphony of strength in your heart, refining your faith into steel forged in invisible fires. My beloved, I urge you to bring these fears and doubts into the light of my gaze. Speak them aloud, or whisper them in the secret depth of your being. Do not hide them in the shadows of pride or shame. I have already borne your sorrows and carried your burdens. Lay them down before me. Trust does not mean the absence of fear, but a courage that rises despite it. It means choosing to believe in my goodness and power when everything within you screams to believe otherwise. You will find me waiting, patient and gentle, ready to renew your spirit with rest. When the night of uncertainty threatens to extinguish your flame, remember how I am the fire that does not consume, but warms and illumines. Your heart is mine to shape, and I will not abandon the work I have begun in you. Fear and doubt may shadow your days, but they are not your captors, only transient guests. I invite you now. Will you believe me this time? Will you allow my love to be stronger than your anxieties? Will you rest in the reality of my care, even when your heart falters? Every trembling breath is an opportunity to lean into me, to discover that in your weakness, my presence becomes your strength. Let this sacred exchange transform the very air around you. Know that I'm faithful. I watch over your journey with eyes full of compassion, and hands ever ready to catch you when you stumble in your fear or question. My grace is sufficient, and my power is made perfect in your frailty. I do not promise the immediate disappearance of fear, but I promise my steadfast companionship through it all. Let your soul quiet itself before me, like a child who longs to be held safe in the night. Feel the weight of my love pressing gently against your spirit, a love that whispers, "You are not alone. I am here," my hand extended, inviting you to step beyond the prison of fear and into the freedom of trust. If your heart is stirring now, do not turn away. Embrace this moment as a sacred turning point. Let your doubts become prayers, your fears fuel for faith, and your trembling step a dance of trust. I am calling you, beloved, to come deeper into the places where faith overcomes dread and hope blooms eternal. Trust me, for I am your Father, your shield, and your deliverer, always inviting you to rest in my unyielding love. My dear child, do you feel at times that the shadows of doubt and anxiety creep unbidden upon your heart, whispering fears that shake your very foundation? I see these moments, not as failures or weaknesses, but as invitations for me to draw nearer, to wrap you tenderly in my everlasting arms where you can find rest. The swirling uncertainty you endure is not unnoticed. It is part of the sacred space where faith is tested and strengthened, where trust grows deeper beyond the surface of your understanding. When the tempest of anxiety roars within you, remember that I am the stillness in the whirlwind, the calm beneath the roaring storm. Your fears are not an enemy, but the soil from which potent faith can arise. It is as though you stand in a vast desert, parched and tempted to despair. Yet beneath that arid surface lies hidden rivers, springs of living water that I've placed within you. Wells of spirit that cannot be exhausted. Channels of peace that flow from my hand straight into your restless soul. You may not sense them at first, but they pulse quietly within, waiting for you to reach out and drink deeply. Child, fear often masquerades as a warning or a harbinger of disaster, but I tell you there is a voice far higher and far truer than any whisper of doubt. It is the voice of my love, calling you to trust beyond what you see and feel. I'm guiding you step by step, even when shadows obscure your path and the way forward feels uncertain. Your trembling heart is the very place where my spirit moves most profoundly, coaxing courage, issuing hope, reminding you of my omnipresence. In those moments when you want to turn away, fight the temptation to close your heart's door. Instead, open wide the windows of your soul and invite me in. I am the light that banishes darkness, the peace that disarms terror. Consider the way the night stretches long before dawn, and yet the stars continue to shine, utterly unaffected by the darkness pressing around them. Like those stars, your faith can burn brightly amid the gloom of anxious thoughts. Each beat of your heart is a pulse of my presence. Each breath you take is a gift of life flowing through my hands. Do not underestimate the sacredness of this ongoing exchange. When your mind spins with what-ifs and if-onlys, choose to anchor your spirit in my truth. Let me show you that fear and faith can coexist, not as enemies, but as two sides of a divine refining process. Fear often convinces you that you are small, insignificant, and alone. But my child, nothing could be further from the truth. You are held within the very core of my heart, a place of infinite care, endless tenderness, and fierce protection. I have woven your being with purpose and possibility, and no fear can diminish your worth or my love for you. Imagine yourself as a tree planted by the waters, whose roots extend deep into my steady presence. No storm, no drought, no trial can uproot you, because I am your foundation. There will be times when the weight of anxiety presses heavy upon you, when the night feels endless, and you feel as though you cannot take another step. I do not demand of you a perfect armor of faith, but I invite you to lean into me as I lift you up. When your strength wanes, my strength is perfected in your weakness. In your moments of trembling uncertainty, ask me to be the balm that soothes your fear, the quiet voice that speaks assurance into your turmoil. Speak to me honestly about your struggles. There is no fear too deep, no question too small for me to address. I am as near as your breath, as constant as the rising sun. Consider also that anxiety often stems from trying to control what you cannot hold, from wrestling with the unpredictable currents of life as if you could command the tides. I seek not to abandon you in this struggle, but to teach you the art of surrender. Not surrender as defeat, but surrender as trust, as yielding to a love greater than any fear. When you relinquish the illusion of control and rest in my sovereignty, you open the door to peace that transcends understanding. The waves may still crash, but your heart can become a harbor of calm, because I am your refuge. Release your grip, child, and watch how I direct your steps amid uncertainty. Know also that anxiety can serve as a sacred signal, alerting you to places within your soul that yearn for my intervention, my healing touch, my illumination. Where the heart trembles, there I come to pour balm and light. When you question your worth or doubt your path, it is I who write your destiny. I'm not distant or impersonal. I am the whisper beneath every breath, the counselor who never turns away. Let this truth settle in you. Your anxieties do not separate you from my love. They summon you closer. My beloved, do not discount the power of small acts of faith amidst the storm. Each time you choose to breathe prayer, to focus your heart on my promises rather than on your fears, you are staking a claim in the kingdom of peace. Trust is not always a thunderous declaration. Often it is a quiet affirmation, a single seed planted in the fertile soil of the Spirit. Nourish that seed. Each day, even on the hardest days, declare your intention to lean on me. When the darkness threatens to overwhelm, remember that dawn is coming. Your journey through fear is part of a sacred making that will yield resilience, depth, and unshakable confidence in my presence. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away from this invitation to speak aloud your fears to me. Bring me the clutter of anxious thoughts and let me exchange it for the gift of calm. Let your trembling become a passage to my peace. I am here, always, waiting with open arms to catch you when you fall and to lift you higher than you could ever climb on your own. Remember, my dear, that anxiety does not define you. My love does. You are my treasured one, precious beyond measure, cared for with a devotion that endures beyond time and trial. Hold tightly to this promise as you navigate the uncertainties. Together we shall walk through every shadow, transforming your fears into testimonies of faith. Will you believe me this time? Will you let me be your peace amid all the storms? Let this moment be the beginning of a new surrender, a new trust, a new dawning of courage in your heart. The journey through fear is not one you make alone. I am with you always. My dear, as you journey through the labyrinth of life, there are moments when uncertainty and fear creep in like shadows at dusk, threatening to steal your light. These feelings of trembling and hesitancy are as old as the world itself, yet I have never abandoned you to wander in darkness alone. In fact, these moments are invitations, tender calls to reach deeper into your spirit and hold fast to the trust I am weaving through your life. Fear, anxiety, and doubt may weigh heavy upon your chest, making each breath a labor and every step uncertain. But I tell you, my dear child, these are not the chains that bind you. They are the soil from which your trust is rooted, strengthened, and made steadfast. Imagine the stillness of the pre-dawn, the quiet moment before the sun breaks over the horizon. Though the night may seem endless, there is an unseen current beneath the darkness, a promise of light that cannot be extinguished. This is how my presence moves with you. Even when your heart races and shadows threaten to consume your hope, I am there, a gentle wind that stirs the depths of your being, breathing peace into your restless soul. Anxiety may attempt to cloud your vision, whispering doubts about your worth, your path, your love. But you are never forgotten, never forsaken. Like a shepherd, I watch over the flock of your heart, guiding you through valleys of uncertainty with a hand that will not falter or fail. Do you feel that pull, beloved? The stirring within you that urges you to look beyond what your eyes see and ears hear. This is the voice of faith, speaking softly, urging you to step into my arms and surrender all your worries. You were not made to carry the burden of fear alone. When your mind reeled with what-ifs and your body responded in paralyzing doubt, it is not weakness, but a sacred moment inviting you to trust me more, to lean not on your own understanding, but into the vastness of my unfailing love. For I am the anchor in your storm, the solid rock beneath shifting sands. Let this truth settle in you. You must know the presence of fear does not separate you from me. Rather, it is the pathway through which I draw you closer. When you acknowledge your vulnerability, when you confess the weight of your anxieties, I meet you there with arms wide open. How many times have you stumbled beneath the burden of doubt, only to find that my grace is sufficient and my power is perfected in your weakness? These trials are crafting you into a vessel of trust, deeper and richer than you realize. There are tapestries of light forming beneath your skin, woven from threads of surrendered fear into fierce, unyielding faith. Let me tell you a story within you, my dear child, of the lilies of the field that neither toil nor spin, yet are clothed in radiance far surpassing even the finest garments. When you question your purpose or doubt your path, know that I'm dressing you with beauty and dignity beyond the superficial fears that cloud your vision. Anxiety whispers lies about scarcity, failure, abandonment, but I am the living water flowing through your soul, quenching your thirst for reassurance and hope. When doubt tries to tether your heart to uncertainty, release those chains and step into the freedom born of trusting in my providence. There is a sacred dance between fear and faith, a rhythm of surrender and strength that you are learning to embrace. I understand the complexity of your inner battle, my beloved, because I formed your heart with intricacy and care. When the enemy hisses, lies into the shadows of your mind, remember that I have placed my spirit within you to be your counselor, your comforter, your guide. I am closer to you than your own breath, and even when the tumult of emotions seems overwhelming, you can find refuge in the shelter of my presence. There is no place too dark, no moment too frail, where my love cannot reach to lift you. Take heart, my child, who trembles now but will one day stand unwavering. Each step you take into the face of fear is a step toward intimacy with me, a deeper knowledge that your life is held in a hand stronger than any storm. When you find your feet slipping on the path, know that I am there to steady you, to carry you when your strength runs thin. Let your heart not be hardened by the trials, but softened by them, for they are seasons of growth and awakening. You are emerging from the chrysalis of anxiety into the freedom of trusting wholly in my goodness. If your heart is stirring now, do not turn away from that trembling longing to trust me more. This is my voice calling out to you in the silence of your doubt, inviting you to lay down your fears as a fragrant offering at my feet. I am not distant or uncaring, but deeply involved in every nuance of your journey. Your fears are precious to me because they reveal your desire to be secure, loved, and known. And I am the promise that surpasses all your fears, the unwavering presence that no anxiety can overcome. Will you take this step of faith with me? Will you hand over the reins of doubt and allow my peace to reign in your soul? Remember the story of the sea. The waves may roar and rage, but beneath the tumult lies a steady foundation. Your life is upon that foundation, and though the storm may howl, it does not have the final word. I am the calm within your storm, the peace that surpasses understanding. Fear and anxiety are like the clouds that cover the sun temporarily, but the light is always there, constant and true, waiting for you to lift your gaze. Trust me with your trembling heart. Trust me with your unanswered questions. I am here, I am love, and my faithfulness endures forever. Let these words wrap around your soul like the arms of a loving father who refuses to let go. When doubt and anxiety attempt to invade your peace, remind your heart of my promises, not because they are mere words, but because they are my character made flesh in your life. Your journey through fear is not a sign of weakness, but a sacred opportunity to prove the strength of your faith. Every trembling step is a witness of my sovereign hand guiding you, shaping you into the radiant image I dreamed for you before the foundations of the world. So take this moment, my beloved, to breathe deeply and release the heavy burdens that cling to your spirit. Let the peace I give, not as the world gives, flood your soul and still the turbulence within. Invite me to walk with you through each shadow, to be the steady light that never flickers or fades. You are never alone. You are beloved beyond measure. You are held tightly by the unwavering grip of my grace. If your heart is stirring with the courage to trust me anew, then come, lean in close, and rest in my love today. My dear, I see the shadows that gather in your mind when doubt softly creeps in like a fog, clouding the clarity you've once known. Often, your heart wrestles quietly, caught in the grip of uncertainty, unsure if you can stand firm on the promises whispered deep within your spirit. I am aware of every tremor of your faith, every time it wavers under the weight of the unknown. When the path seems unclear and the silence stretches long, know this: I am not distant. I am closer than your very breath, infused into the marrow of your bones, present in the pulse of your being. Doubt is not an enemy designed to destroy you, but a refining fire that purifies what is true and strengthens the foundation I have laid within you. When you find yourself questioning the means and the timing of my work in your life, remember that my ways transcend the boundaries of human understanding. Like a potter shaping clay, I mold and form you through seasons that seem mysterious, even harsh. But beneath the surface, a divine sculpting is underway. Trust is a muscle grown through exercise, through moments when certainty dissolves, but you still choose to lean into me. I have woven you into the fabric of a grander tapestry, one threaded with purpose and destiny beyond your sight. Imagine a vast forest at dawn, shrouded in mist, where the sun's light is not yet fully revealed. You walk this forest, sometimes losing your way in the dense fog, yet each step brings you closer to where the light breaks through the canopy. The silence you feel, the waiting that stretches on, preparing you for what lies ahead. All of this is part of the story I'm writing upon your heart. I'm the author who never ceases to tenderly, carefully, and lovingly guide your pen. When anxiety whispers lies that you are alone, unseen, or forgotten, I remind you that my eyes move constantly upon you, that you are more treasured than the most precious jewel. No shadow is too deep, no night too dark for my presence to illuminate and bring peace. Fears may surge like waves upon the shore, but my spirit is an anchor that holds steady through every storm. Come to me in these moments. Pour out your heart. I am waiting not to condemn, but to comfort, to embrace, to infuse you with a courage that defies even the loudest roar of turmoil. Do not be ashamed of your doubts or the questions that arise. They can be gateways into a more profound trust when you place them in my hands. Consider the disciples who walked beside me. They doubted, stumbled, and yet through their journey, their faith was tested and forged into unshakable conviction. My dear child, your struggles are part of the path to a faith that is alive, vibrant, and real. It is not the absence of doubt that defines you, but the choice to walk with me despite it. Let this truth settle in you. You are never outside my reach or my heart. I invite you now to breathe deeply and surrender every fearful thought to me. Visualize placing your doubts like stones at my feet, each one lifted from your heart and laid down in the pure light of my love. Feel the weight begin to lift as you let go, knowing that I'm capable of carrying what you cannot. The peace I offer is not ephemeral, but a deep, abiding presence that anchors your soul in every circumstance. Reflect on how far you have come, even through the wilderness moments when you felt lost. Every trial, every tear, every moment of questioning has built within you a resilience that glows with sacred strength. You are a warrior in this spiritual race, and I am your eternal champion, never ceasing in my pursuit of your healing, wholeness, and unwavering faith. Will you trust me anew today? Will you believe that in the very midst of your doubt, I am at work, writing a testimony of triumph through your surrendered heart? Step forward with me, hand in hand, into the mystery of my plans, confident that I am guiding you toward a destiny illuminated by love and rich with promises fulfilled. Take this time now to whisper your fears to me, for I am listening. Let your soul find rest in the assurance that beyond doubt lies a peace that surpasses all understanding. You are beloved, unshakable, and deeply held by the one who formed you and calls you by name. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Let your spirit lean fully into my embrace and know that I am here, always here, waiting to turn your uncertainty into a radiant faith that conquers every shadow. My beloved, as you stand at the crossroads of your journey, feeling the heavy weight of uncertainty pressing upon your shoulders, I want you to remember that you are never truly lost or abandoned. Even when the shadows of isolation surround you and the voices of doubt echo loudly in your mind, I am with you. I see you. I know the depth of your pain, the silent cries of your heart, and the secret places where you feel unseen. This solitude you experience is not without purpose, nor is it a sign of my absence. It's the canvas upon which I am painting a masterpiece of grace and transformation in your life. There are moments when the night is so dark that you cannot see beyond the present moment, when the road ahead feels like a labyrinth without a clear path. In those moments, your soul may feel like a ship lost at sea, battered by waves of despair and tossed by storms of confusion. Yet, even in the fiercest tempest, my hand is steady upon the helm. I'm your unwavering lighthouse, the beacon that pierces the fog and guides you home. My dear child, do not convince yourself that you have been forsaken or that your prayers have fallen on deaf ears. Your experiences are etched intricately into the fabric of my plans, woven with threads of love more resilient than you can comprehend. When you feel unseen by others, remember that my eyes, full of compassion and knowledge, never miss a single tear or a whispered prayer. I am the one who collects the fragments of your shattered heart and uses them to build something beautiful and new. Your story is not one of defeat, but of hope. Your pain is fertile soil from which strength and courage will sprout. I invite you to lean into this truth, to let the warmth of my presence flood the cold places inside you. There is no loneliness in my embrace, because I have placed within you an eternal belonging, an unbreakable connection that transcends circumstances and human understanding. I want you to recognize that feeling lost or abandoned is often a veil that hides an invitation to draw nearer to me. Sometimes I allow seasons of silence and waiting so that your faith can grow deeper roots and your spirit can mature in ways it never could if all were easy and clear. Have you noticed how precious the dew is to the morning flower after a long, dark night? So it is with your soul. My refinements come through the quiet, the stillness, the moments of waiting. Trust these periods, even when they are uncomfortable or feel endless. They are shaping you into vessels of my glory and preparing you for the destinies I have created for you. The feelings of abandonment and invisibility are not signs of your failure or flaws. They are invitations to uncover my heart in fresh ways. When you feel unseen, close your eyes and rest in the reality that I am closer than breathing, nearer than your most intimate thoughts. I hold you in the palm of my hand, and nothing slips through my fingers. I see the layers beneath your exterior, the dreams you have buried, the wounds you hide, the hope that still flickers in the darkest chambers of your spirit. You are mine, beloved, and nothing will ever change that. Reflect for a moment on the times when you did not understand my silence or felt overwhelmed by the waiting. Those were times I was teaching your heart to hear my voice above all others. I was calling you into a deeper faith, a faith not based on what you see, but on the promises I have whispered from the foundations of the universe. If you struggle with feeling forsaken or invisible, I want you to know that these feelings do not define your reality. They are challenges in the journey, not the journey itself. Let this truth settle in your soul. You are seen, you are heard, and you are never alone. You are part of a grand story, my dear child, one that extends beyond the trials you face today. Your life is threaded into an eternal tapestry that I'm weaving with purpose and intention. Remember the story of the desert flower blooming after months of drought, reaching toward the sun despite the harshness around it. So I do with you. I nurture your spirit even when it feels like the earth beneath you is cracked and barren. This growth is unseen but no less real. It is happening. Your beauty, your strength, your hope, they are all forming quietly beneath the surface, ready to burst forth in their appointed time. Do not be discouraged by the seasons of feeling lost or unseen. They are part of what shapes your character and aligns your heart with my will. Even when the world overlooks you, know that you are beloved beyond measure in my eyes. I have engraved you upon the palms of my hands. You are never forgotten. My presence envelops you like a protective shield, and I am constantly at work, orchestrating the details of your life with precision and love. Trust me when I tell you that your story is far from over, that your best days are ahead. Will you believe me this time, my beloved? Will you fix your gaze upon me amidst the confusion, the heartache, and the loneliness? I'm calling you into a deeper, fuller experience of my love, one that transcends feelings and circumstances. Let go of the false narratives that say you are abandoned or invisible. Instead, hold firmly to the truth that you are precious, cherished, and infinitely known by me. In your moments of despair, turn your heart toward my light and let it renew your strength. My dear child, you are infinitely valued, and I delight in you. Take a moment now to breathe deeply, to feel my presence surrounding you like a warm embrace. Let the peace that surpasses understanding wash over your fears and doubts. Your longing to be seen and understood is a sacred echo of the intimacy I desire with you. Allow me to fill that longing with my unchanging love and perfect acceptance. There is a place for you in my heart that no one else can occupy. Rest there. Find refuge there. And when you are ready, rise with the confidence that comes from knowing you are never truly lost, never truly unseen, and never ever abandoned. I am with you in every step, every breath, and every quiet moment. You belong to me, and nothing can separate you from this truth. Embrace it now and allow it to reshape your perspective. In your solitude, you are closer to me than you have ever been. Walk forward with courage, for I am guiding your feet and lighting your path. If your heart is stirring, do not turn away. Come closer, deeper, and let my love heal the places where you have felt lost and unseen. This is the beginning of a new chapter where my presence will be your constant companion, and my grace will be your everlasting light. My dear, listen closely as I draw your heart back to the center where you were always meant to reside, in my boundless love and everlasting embrace. You have journeyed through shadows and light, wrestled with questions and thus stirred deep wounds. Now, feel the fullness of my presence not as a distant echo, but as the very breath that sustains your being. I see you, not as the world sees, marked by your mistakes or your doubts, but as my beloved, crafted with infinite care and treasured beyond measure. You are the delicate harmony of my divine purpose, woven intricately with threads of hope, courage, and resilience. Within you flows a lineage not forged by human hands, but by the eternal heart of heaven. When you falter or feel the heaviness of the world pressing upon your soul, remember that you are held in the palm of my hand, unshakable, resilient, cherished. I have breathed my spirit into you, igniting a light that no darkness can extinguish. This light is your true identity, your unbreakable core. It does not depend on achievements nor wither with failures. It simply is. It is my love, alive within you. Do you see how your every tear, your every ache, has been gathered and transformed by me into streams of grace and growth? The storms you have faced were never beyond my knowledge or control. Each gust and thunderclap was met with my sustaining presence, even when your heart was too weary to sense it. I have been your refuge and strength, your quiet shelter beneath which your spirit could rest and rebuild. Now is the time for restoration, not just a returning to what was, but a promising forward into something more glorious than you dared imagine. Rest your soul in my promise that you belong, not to the chaos, not to the fear, not to the temporary shadows, but to me, your Creator and Eternal Father. You are more than your past, more than your worries and stumblings. You are my masterpiece, my delight, fashioned to reflect the beauty of heaven on earth. When you awaken each morning, know that my eyes are upon you, and my heart beats in rhythm with yours, whispering, "You are loved beyond measure. You are mine." Take courage now to step into the full destiny I have prepared for you. The gifts I have placed in your hands, the dreams I have etched into your spirit, are not for hiding or doubting. You are called to walk boldly, to shine your light with confidence that comes from knowing who you are in me. When the world attempts to dim your flame, remember the fire I have kindled within you burns with eternal purpose. You are chosen, appointed to bear fruit that will last and bless many beyond what you see today. As this truth settles deeply within your heart, let go of all that weighs you down. Release fear, guilt, and confusion into my hands. I receive them all and transform what is broken into beauty. Trust in my love that never abandons, that never wavers. When you stumble, my arms are there to catch you. When you soar, my spirit celebrates in the heavens. You have an unshakable home in me, an everlasting refuge where your spirit thrives and sings. My dear child, hear my invitation. Live fully in the reality of who you are in me. You are my beloved, redeemed and radiant, embraced by a love that defines eternity. Go forward with boldness, knowing you carry my presence with you always. Walk in the light of your true identity, and let your life be a testament to the power of divine love at work in the depths of the human heart. I delight in you endlessly. Now, as this message draws to its close, hide it in your heart. Carry it as a precious treasure in times of quiet and in moments of trial. Let it be the melody you return to when doubt calls or when hope feels distant. You are forever mine, and I am forever yours. Let this truth carve space in your soul where peace reigns supreme and joy flows eternal. Amen. If your heart has been touched, my beloved, do not keep this message to yourself. Share it gently with others who wander through shadows and yet long for the dawn. Save these words as a lamp to your feet and a light to your path whenever you need to be reminded of who you truly are in me.